What up, chat? How we doing? Oh, there we go. Fixed it. What up, Steph, Soul, Eldred, Victoria, Yayita, Ben and NQ long, waiting for more upside. I mean, at this point, that all there really is to do is just long the market and hope you're in at the right time. That's it. It's the entire expectation for the entire stock market. Just long it. As long as your stop's wide enough, you should be all right. I get the stream running in 1 second. Doing everything. I'm doing all like my lines and shit. Open. All right. All right, we should be good. Anyways, how you guys doing? Let's see. There we go. Let's go, Voltru. Love to hear it. What up, Hitch? Waiting for a GC pullback. I feel it, but also at the same time, I don't want to touch gold. I don't. How you doing, AXP? Man, you've been on a roller coaster today, my guy. You've been on a roller coaster. What up, James, JK, Erdo? Yeah, AXP. I mean, the main reason I said roller coaster is because obviously I've been watching every stream for the most part. And it has just been seeing you. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in, I'm out the whole day. Where's oils open from yesterday? Apparently I didn't mark that. So where's it? It's open today. Obviously, I'm not in a massive rush to dive in the market right now. I'd say we had a pretty solid session last night. For those of you that held, for those of you that watched YM, and for those of you that saw it today, I'd say it worked pretty well. Gold is going to 47.50, 100-point move incoming. Yeah, gold can definitely go there. The problem with gold is when is it going to go there? When, you know? And that's what gold loves to do. It's a big game of when. And if you're wrong on the timing, you're off by a shitload of time. And you're stopped out a shitload. Not for this session, Erdo. For me, the only thing I pay attention to is like daily pivots. And a good perspective on that is I mark yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, last week's highs, last week's lows, stuff like that. And then the overnight open. When New York Open comes, I'll mark that as well. Full transparency, I have one interest today, and that is about it. So there's one trade I'm pretty much willing to take, or I'm interested in taking, and that's the only trade. And some of you are going to be depressed because it's fucking YM. That's all I'm interested in. Just the continuation on this chart. You look at it, and it looks, we're in a pretty tight consolidation. Yes, this 4-hour candle looks like shit. However, this one tightened up a little bit. I'm cool with that. Main thing I'd be looking for is just the continuation day over the highs. And it's mainly for the if we do get the continuation, we should easily head towards all-time highs. That's another 800 points. I'm willing to take a risk on that. I'm in MGC. Are you talking about instead of GC? What up, PK? Let me also make sure I remute Discord. I unmuted it today. And I don't want you guys to get pinged 95 times. All right. But no, literally the only trade I'm really interested in is YM. I'm not touching that shit. What, GC? Yeah, AXP. Gold put you through a roller coaster last night. What up, Christian? Joey? Vish, PK, Armani. Let's go with another YM 300 plus. I think that would be easy. And like, I'm tempted to long YM. Like, once it gets above the open, I'm interested, and we're literally at the open. What up, Gator? And I just think there's a lot of continuation potential. And for those of you that weren't on yesterday, and I'm sure people asked me multiple times on today's session, this is what we took last night. Once we got in, we never got within 20 points of our stop. So it never even became a worry for the most part. Obviously there's a few points last night when I was looking at it, determining what I wanted to do. And you can see how well that target was. We came up into that target 3 times and then slammed right down. So I'd say it's a pretty fucking textbook trade. You could have obviously waited longer again, got a different entry, but for me, I can't complain. Overall, just about 7R of potential there. There was a lot of really nice setups intraday as well. I traded YM a little bit intraday, but not a lot. What up, Moke? Give me 5 minutes. Just got my coffee. Brother, I'm waiting for you're supposed to have your coffee ready. I got mine ready. That was amazing. Appreciate you, brother. I got a bunch of DMs about it, and it makes me happy. And especially because this one isn't one of the ones where, like last time, I had to move the stop and I caught it, but a lot of people got stopped out. Took that gold short, but damn, it took 5 days to deliver. Yeah. I mean, you just got to remember what gold's in. Gold's not even out of the range yet. So gold is still a little finicky bitch in this area. I mean, the chart doesn't look the best. We got to remember, though, we have today, technically tomorrow-ish, but today's price action to determine the overall weekly candle close and really see where these charts are going to go. I think there's still a lot of opportunity. Another reason for the YM as well. When you look at this weekly chart, people look at last night's move and say, wow, that was a big move. It didn't even move. We didn't even get above yesterday's or last week's highs. We got above it, but we didn't even really get above it. You know what I mean? That's why I do have small option size in this, which are complete fucking degen. I'll admit they are degenerate options, but I'm swinging them. It's just if this breaks and goes to all-time highs, I can't like not have some exposure for that. And I didn't know if I'd get an entry tonight, so I had to take something in options and just let it ride. It is a giant bull flag, but the problem is we keep rejecting the same area. What up, Candace? Now I got to make another. Wait. What'd you say? Bro, I forgot to put TP. Fell asleep on one account. Woke up with 4K up. I mean, Armani, that's one of those things where it's like, oh no, my steak's too juicy. My lobster's too buttery. I made too much money, you know? And I'm in the same boat. I have literally made enough to take a withdraw from 2 Tradeify accounts, and I can't take one until I make 1,500 more because of the last YM trade we took cooked me. This YM trade again helped me. Now we just got to get one more YM trade and we get a payout. Appreciate you, Miss K. Yeah, I am interested in taking a YM long. I'll be honest, if I take it, I'll probably throw a wide stop on, and I'm probably gonna do the exact same thing as last night. I would likely be holding until tomorrow, looking for another 12-hour plus trade, and then we ride that into the sunset. Luckily, though, I mean, this week has been slow. I'd say yesterday made up for it. So all you need is one trade a week, and you're chilling. How we doing tonight, Lil Melty? I'm great. How you doing, brother? How are you doing? What up, Joe? Pretty sure I already said that. Yeah, so you need to trade one more green day, but to be honest, it really like I definitely wouldn't rush it, especially at OPEX tomorrow. This is like this kind of where my head mindset is. In theory, I could easily get a payout tomorrow if I made enough on two Tradify accounts because I've been trading them together for the most part, and you guys have seen 90% of the trades on them. But I'm at like we have OPEX, so if the OPEX action is shitty at all, I'm not touching them. I might take small size tonight. I probably will take small size tonight, especially if YM sets up to where I love it. I'll take some risk, but I'm not going to be looking for that target. I can tell you that, like the PNL target. Worst case, I go for a payout next week. Also, I did see someone ask about Apple. I believe it's Moke. I will look at Apple. Thank you, Poison. Gold be bipolar. Look at how choppy and trendy it was. Literally the only good move was last week. AXP, that's gold. That's gold. I can tell you, I tried to trade a little bit of gold last night, lost like $400 while trading. Now, mind you, I just left YM open, let YM absolutely rip. But yeah, I lost a couple hundred on that, and I made up for it because I traded the YM a little bit today. Yeah, I'm done touching gold. That chart can go fuck itself completely. I am done touching gold. Holy oil gap is nuts. Hey, Joe. You see, if you're on TradingView, you see this little B80J thing down here? Hit that for me, brother. That's what we call a contract rollover. Because if you hit it, holy shit, it gapped down $5. If you hit it again, it didn't. That's just contract rollover, brother. It's, dude, you guys will see it. No, Joe, don't worry about it. You guys will see it when we have the index contract rollover. I'll be the first to say it. It is one of the most annoying times in the world. It is. Because 45 people will be like, oh my God, there's such a massive gap on the indices every 2 minutes. And all it is the contract rolled over and they're just not set for it. Go long or short here, Jorge. I'm truly not interested in it. I'm not. You can't get me interested in a 4-hour chart that looks like this. There's zero reason for me. A lot of people are going to hate that I want absolutely nothing to do with gold. To be fair, gold for me sucks ass. I don't like gold. I don't trade gold well. I don't care. But with this chart, it's no. It's just in a big range, big old consolidation. If you want to draw one of these on the bottom too, maybe draw some shit like that. I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. Problem with trend lines, you can move them 45 different ways till they make sense. You can draw something like that while it's in there. Gold, no, not touching it. Not touching a little bit. Like I said, it gets over 47.50s. I'm all for swinging the hell out of gold. How's Jake? He had some beef with YM this morning. Armani, that's just part of the job. Jake's perfectly fine. I guarantee it. I guarantee you every part of it. You'll know if Jake's like not in a really good mood or tilting or trading horribly, and he's not. He's fine. That's just a shit situation on a trade that happens. It's happened to me before. You guys have seen it. It's just a part of the job. Just something you got to get used to. Can I trade the account I won in the Grand Cup? SO, what do you mean you won in the Grand Cup? Are you talking about the free account that they give you that only counts towards the Grand Cup and you can't make any money out of? That one? Jordan, I'm not gonna lie. Some of you probably saw it. I was in Jake's chat timing people out for 30 minutes at a time because their comments were just irritating me. And I truly did not care. I rocked probably like 4 people throughout that stream. Because they were just saying, oh, Jake should be trading this instead of the YM. Oh, why would you take the YM? It's such a bad trade. I was interested in the YM at the open. I was watching the exact same thing Jake was. And I love that chart. I still fucking love this chart. But no, I was timing people out left and right for just making dumb comments. And I was like, nah, we're done. Just because I know it's like the trade itself wouldn't piss Jake off at all. Would it irritate him a little bit? Maybe. But the chat is what will piss him off. Because some people just be stupid. Anyways, if you're on stream, you want to support this channel, hit the like button, hit the little thumbs up, show some love, help us get some more traction on this stream. Asia session's been slow, but I'm okay calling this a pretty fucking good trade. I know I usually don't say, oh my God, this is a banger trade often, but I'm just saying this is a pretty good trade. 7R, absolute worst case, we drew down 25 points on the YM. 335 target, not too shabby. And I know a lot of you caught it because I have a lot of DMs about y'all catching it. And I fucking love that. Especially because the last one we caught, everybody got stopped out, but like 3 people. At least this time it was catchable. Moke, I'll still look at Apple, but if you're heading out at all, let me know. For now, I'm just chatting for a little bit while I'm stalking the YM chart. I'm trying not to change the charts too much because I am interested here. Jake will get rage baited with contract rollover. Gale. Yes, contract rollover, but more so when they bring individual stocks. I just know that is going to be the biggest rage bait session. And Jake is just going to have to close the chat because it's going to be brutal. Yeah, Patel, the only chart, for those of you just hopping on, there's one trade I'm interested in. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. It's my trading. I'm interested in the YM longs if it sets up. And that is primarily it. Imagine going versus Jake in the Grand Cup who's kidnapping him. I guarantee you, if Jake faces someone in the Grand Cup, Jake will throw. Because Jake knows how much 5K can change somebody's life. Jake doesn't care enough. Like, he'll put up somewhat of a fight, but I guarantee you, if you face Jake, you'll just need a mediocre day to be able to take him out. But he's not going to make it like easy. He's not just going to hand it to you or you have to make $1, you know? Feel like absolute buns. I'll keep the stream open, but I'll be lurking. Joe, take it easy, brother. If you need to, take it off. I mean, if I don't find a really nice entry today, I'm probably not trading tomorrow. If I don't find something to like swing overnight to execute on before OPEX, I do not have interest in sitting at a monitor for like 7 hours tomorrow trading OPEX. I mean, we're in a 40-point range right now in the YM. So even right now, I'm not overly dire to jump into something. I could wait till the session high breaks, set a stop below the lows, and it would be tighter than our stop last night. And our stop last night was tight. Awesome YM trade. Appreciate you, brother. I saw a good stat that with 75% win rate, you will have 5 losers in a row. And with 50%, 9 loser ties in a row. Jake is on 30. Still a crazy name. If you have a good risk to reward, like I'm talking 3, like probably around 3, you need such a minimal win rate to be profitable or even break even. It is insane. Like if you have a 3R, you can have like a 30% win rate and be profitable. And yet people will try to say that they have a really good risk to reward and their win rate's decent. Well, some math ain't math in there if it is. Making an extra 6K a month with Project 365. You guys all rock. Software career not paying for that Cancun trip. Armani, you're making that a month right now? If so, congratulations, brother. I mean, we've seen, I don't know if like Gordito's in here, but there's been people on this stream where their trading has 180, not even like 180, but just exponentially increased. And I'm not even taking credit for it. I'm just saying as a whole, just working with everyone. What up, Com? Yo, I quit. I'm going to trade lean hogs and soybeans. It might be easier than gold AXP. It might. For how you trade, it might be. Also, I love Lamelli. I was crying in his comment to you during his stream just because he doesn't know the type of trader you are. Obviously, you've been on most of our streams for like a week straight, so a lot of us know how you are. But that was his like first time actually like seeing your comments and stuff. I was crying laughing. Because I was like, 4R for AXP. He doesn't even give a shit about that. What up, ATZ? If I missed some of you guys' comments, feel free to throw them again. Luke. What up, Luke? While the YM's pulling back a little bit, let's pull up some charts. And if you guys have any individual names, let me know. Apple chart. I haven't charted Apple since it was at 280 apparently. Yeah, weekly inside bar. The problem is I would say I'd be looking for 300, but it already hit 300. Where am I looking for now? At all time highs, I just look for like the psychological level pins. And I really don't know how I feel about tomorrow. I don't. Apple's one of those ones where if it breaks the highs tomorrow, it looks great. Weekly or daily inside bar, obviously you can make that move. No question about it. Just where is it going to open and how can you trade it off of that? Another one is cost. And when I said I don't know what I want tomorrow, it's off the entire market, not just Apple. Cost looks great if it wants all-time highs. I could see that making that move. 0.5%. I mean, it is a YM name, so I believe it is. If YM does rip, it can make that momentum. I'll go back up in chat and make sure I catch up, but I saw a thing saying, bro, Ron, do you go on tilt very often? No, not at all. Not even the littlest bit. I mean, I will, but not often. To me is like weekly or every other week. No, I don't. There's times where like I might have a shit day in a month, but that's it. And also if I go on tilt, usually I'll just grab it in eval and just try to pass it. But even that's not that often. I want to see Jake win it, TB8. Cole, if Jake won the Tradeify Grand Cup, so just think about this scenario. If Jake won the Tradeify Grand Cup, the amount of evals that fucking guy would buy, we would have to get more viewers. Because the 2,000 per stream, 4,000 per stream isn't going to be enough for what he's going to give away. It's just not. He would just start. It'd be like Oprah. Everybody gets an eval, no matter what. You show up, eval. Show up, eval. Giveaway today? No. There isn't one today. So if you guys are like the little giveaway vultures, you're just here for the giveaways, bad news. Probably not doing it. Jake's giving away like 40 this week of TPT alone. Do the math. That puts a little dent in your pocket. I think he can recoup for a day. Because what's probably going to happen, though, I guarantee you he's probably going to do something where he gives one away tomorrow. Y'all know Jake. It's never no giveaways, but for me, I'm fine not doing giveaways. Y'all be all right for a day. What up, Minecore? At the gym to hop down just to make sure I'm not trading silver. I haven't even looked at silver. Let's take a look. Silver looks like shit. Not interested immediately. It looks better than gold. I'll give you that. The 4-hour chart looks like it's actually moving somewhere. Looks a lot better than gold. Gold looks absolutely atrocious. I'm going to see if the viewers goes back up because I'm pretty sure me saying I'm not doing a giveaway just lost like 15 people. Fucking you little vultures. Will my Microsoft swing see 417 tomorrow? I don't know. Well, it's gapping down, so that's not ideal. It's only gapping down a little bit. 417? It's possible. It's 100% possible. Gael, if that works out, are you going to add that to the $500 million that Michigan's going to put into their football program to be reputable again and for people to care about them? CICL. I'm still watching futures on my other monitor, but I'm waiting. You laugh, but I am a donor. I bet you are. I bet you are. Oh, you guys are just blasting names right now. Someone say this was an inside bar. Technically not an inside bar. This one spiked lower, this one spiked higher, but it is a daily consolidation. I see what you mean. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know this chart. I haven't traded this chart. If I see a daily chart that looks like this, I'm not overly interested. But I understand what you're looking at. Because if you look at the hourly, it doesn't look bad at all. It's not something that I've ever traded though. TTWO. Is it? This is that. I could see it ripping just based off that perspective alone. But in fact, it would have been ripping for like the past 5 years off of GTA 6, maybe even the last 15, because it's still waiting to come out. My barber just asked my brother about this today, which is interesting. You don't got my barber's name, so I don't think you're my barber. It's just a coincidence. Over 245, I can get that run. I mean, but I don't know, where am I looking for? I mean, 250, 750s maybe? Maybe. Might be about it. Probably gonna look at a few more, then take a break on this and look back at futures. No, cash. I'm still taking cash right now. What, if any, you talking about for tomorrow? Options expiration. It's the quarterly options contract. So like right now, if you take a lot of different options trades for next year, there's going to be quarterly contracts, which is every 3 months. And today's one of them. Well, no, that's quad witching. It's the third week in every month. Third Friday. It's the main options expiration for that month. Mitch is one tomorrow where he can give a lot more detail on it and what exactly goes on in the back end of it. For me, I just know a shitload of options expire tomorrow. AXP, I was also laughing my ass off when I said, "What the hell is turtle soup?" And then when Lamelli straight up said turtle soup is basically a fair to go lower, that told me everything I need to know about ICT. Everything. Every little aspect I need to know. That all they do is take normal things in the stock market, make them sound insanely weird or complex, And that's it. And that is the definition of what I've understood about ICT so far. Take the most simplistic things, give it a random name, so that way you can explain it in more depth, but not more depth. And then it just sounds really good. Well, prop firms currently got the best rules for quicker passing and to funds on 50K. Hard to keep up with them and their rules. For me, it's Lucid or Tradeify. If you want fastest to funded, look for Tradeify Growth, Lucid Pro, I think it is. 1 day to pass on each. Gold getting a little bit of love there. Let's see what the YM. Give it this 15, see what the 15 does on it. I'm wondering if we just wait till Asia session again and then look to take the entry. Because there is a high probability if we get above the open on YM, I take an entry. Like high probability. Cole, I saw when Trump tweeted about Dell. I saw it and I was just sitting at my computer. I looked at the chart. For like 30 seconds, it didn't move. And then all of a sudden, it just ripped. ICT just gives names to everything it does. Yeah, AXP. That's when I hear a phrase like that talking about trading. And here's the hard part. And this isn't bashing anybody, but it's the concepts alone. A lot of those concepts sound very educated in a sense, and a lot of you will know what I mean. But when you're trading and you hear some term called turtle soup, for me, it's just immediately, what the fuck are we talking about now? Because that would make me immediately think that someone has no clue what they're talking about. If they start talking about turtle soup in trading. If ICT works for you, Adrian, trade it. It works for a lot of people. The core of it, not even the core, all the little bullshit phrases of it, it just makes me question everything. That's it. It just makes me question everything. But no, my firm belief, until someone changes my mind, is ICT is just pullback trading with more complex names for certain terms. Yeah, it's not needed to be profitable. The only thing you really need to be profitable is just to fully understand how price action trades. Yeah, it's easy. I think we're all in the same boat with that. Like if there weren't names like that in it, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe this isn't that bad. But as soon as I hear that, I'm like, all right, you lost me. You completely lost me. I heard Mitch went over the Greeks. Yeah, Gael, Mitch, that's what Gamma is the Greeks. I'm telling you, if you want to learn more in depth about options and the overall back ends of the market and what larger positions are doing, watch Mitch's streams. I joined the Discord earlier today, a couple hours before market open. Beautiful, brother. Welcome in. Appreciate you being there. David, I feel like that's the way for a lot of cases, though, for a lot of strategies. And it's just fine tuning what you want to use, right? And he said some stuff can be used in ICT, but most of it is just noise, to be honest. That's probably the same for a lot of shit, for an absolute insane amount of strategies. Hang on. My buddy just texted me saying, "Did you see my message in the chat?" And I didn't. So now I'm like, where the fuck did it go? Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Unless he was on a bot account. Nope. I don't know. See what he said later. I'm watching the YM with this consolidation right here. If we do break above this blue line, I'm looking to get in. Yeah, Samantha, I trade a lot like Jake. But the number one thing I do, especially during this session, I've talked about it. I explained everything yesterday of exactly what I was looking for on the YM and the way I want to trade it. And then it's the same today. If I catch a trade on the YM, what do I want? I want to be able to get in YM and not give a single shit what that chart does until tomorrow morning. Today, I literally woke up, opened up TradingView before I even got out of bed, saw where YM was, and I was like, you know what? We're right at target. And I closed. That was my trade. I entered last night, went to bed, woke up, closed it. That is how I want my trades to be. And I'm not even joking. That is how the last 3 YM trades have been. Not the last 3, but the last 3 good ones, you know, the big ones that we actually caught overnight. ICT said gold will react like this in 2026 in his 2019 mentorship episode 6. Trade Rob, is that like a serious comment? What is the blue line? Blue line is the Globex Open. So this session. What is gold? I see a lot of you talking about gold. The one thing I don't understand, and I want you guys to understand it, is there's been a lot of talk about gold and like what is gold on, and also last night as well. If gold did this for the last 20 hours, why are we shocked? Why are we shocked that it's doing it now? It should kind of be expected. The chart looks like shit in both directions overall. It's in a massive range. We're going to see volatility. It's fucking gold, people. This should not be shocking. This is exactly what it did last night, the entire fucking night. And it didn't stop. It's going to do that. I guarantee it. Until it stops and starts chilling out a little bit, that's what's going to happen. Oh, okay, Trade Wop. That's why I said, like, I didn't know if you were being serious or not. Because if he did, I was going to mention the fact that he thinks market makers snipe his prop firm accounts. Yeah, XP, I agree with that wholeheartedly. ICT can be good because it gives you like an entire foundation to trade off of. It gives you a full detailed trade plan that you're looking at. It's more than a lot of people have in trading. A lot of people think they have a trade plan, but they don't have shit. But no, Samantha, my strategy is more so looking at the higher time frames, like high to mid, so like 1 hour, 4 hour, looking at those, trying to find a really decent setup in which I can hold and not touch it if it works out properly, especially on this session. Because I feel like on Asia session, you have 2 options. You're either looking for quicker moves, like shorter moves, maybe anywhere from 30 to 70 points in the NQ, or like you're looking for the overnight kind of moves. And that's what I'm more so looking for. Diego, I wouldn't really say max pain because, like, what kind of pain are we going to get? Unless you're expecting the market to just aggressively gap down, which I don't really see. It's just going to be which way do we close tomorrow? Tomorrow's likely going to be volatile. OPEX is usually volatile. Not as volatile as quad witching, but there's usually some decent volatility in there. I'm going to do some shorts on NQ to end my Friday red. It's P, you do you, brother. Because I've seen, the thing is, like, I've seen a trade go completely against you, like let's say gold did last night, where it was up, down. It was just emotional roller coaster. And then I've also in the past 24 hours saw you on Lamelli stream go, I'm going to take a short. Within 3 minutes, NQ was down 90 points. So you do whatever the fuck you want to do. Pram, the appeal of ICT is the mass majority trades it. No matter what. ICT won't go away at all, even if people hate on it, because what, 60 to 70% of retail traders use it, most likely? Because it's the number one marketed thing out there. The number one way, and this is like a joke I have, the number one way to become like a profitable ICT trader. You learn ICT concepts from buying someone's course. You start posting about ICT concepts on social media. Once you grow a following, because everyone follows everyone that posts ICT, you sell an ICT course. You're now a profitable ICT trader. That's why there's 800 profitable ICT traders out there with Lamborghinis. Oh, Diego, there's probably people in here that listen to that and they're just punching the air. But wholeheartedly, you can't tell me that's not the truth about social media with ICT. Everybody sells an ICT course. Everybody. Social media broke the internet. Well, I'd say, I mean, if you're going that far, social media broke society, 1000%. All right, let's dive into some charts a little bit more. Gold, like I said, not touching it. Oil sitting above the open. We want to see oil do exactly what it started to do last night, where oil got a little bit weaker on the chart. The problem is it's sitting in this broader consolidation. It doesn't look as weak as it did yesterday-ish. I want to see this get weaker and then YM break the open, and then we look for that continuation. Also, someone had asked about NQ hitting 30,000. It's possible, easily. NQ's intraday move today from the lows of around pre-market to the highs was 334 points. You go to yesterday. That move was 500 points. We are 270 points away from 30K. That's light work right now. Like, not even crazy. Like, if it went there during the overnight session before New York, I'd be like, okay. And I still know a lot of people are trying to time the broader top, and I'm still living by my perspective on it. Some of you might remember me saying this. I'm not interested in broader term shorts at all until YM hits all-time highs. Because I think the YM is going to all-time highs. When that hits, I might look at it and be like, okay, now assess, be like, what is oil doing? What is the dollar doing? How's everything sitting? But I think this can easily pump to here. If it pumps to there, the market's not just going to roll over. So I still think this is going to all-time highs. We'll see how it reacts to that. And then that's when I'd be like, all right, maybe I'll start thinking about it. LaMelo should start selling the course. I mean, at some point he probably will. And it's not, that's nothing towards ICT. If you're showing trades live, they're doing well, and people want to learn from you, what's the easiest way to do it? Do one-on-ones with 50 people or sell a course? AXP, yeah. And that's the thing. And I know for a fact, you guys will all trade together in the chat too. That's why, like, I'll talk about trades, talk about charts you guys want to talk about. And I'll always say, trade what you want to trade. Because at the same time, stuff like YM, where I'm looking at the broader overnight move, there's probably people who hated that chart and wanted the short. Shorts can still play out overall in the market while I'm holding that trade without any questions. Because I'm looking for the broader, larger moves. Check gold. Gold looks like shit. This chart looks fucking horrible, dude. I mean, it just, there's nothing about this. If you're shorting, yeah, it can look really good. But I have zero interest in trading something that did this all last night. Like, you can't tell me you look at that chart and go, holy shit, I want to be in that. For 16 hours straight, just range. I mean, if you like gold, if you like trading gold, trade it. One thing you have to remember is I don't like trading gold. So I'm not going to touch gold when it looks like that, especially, you know? I tried it a little bit last night. I lost money. I don't like gold still. You're going 29,752. So you're shorting right up here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not like, even though I said I'm hard set on YM, my whole thesis behind that is one, I like the YM chart. Clear as day. Lately, I've loved the YM. If you've hated the YM, I'm sorry for you because the YM has been absolutely ripping during the overnight session into New York Open occasionally. And we've caught 3 of them, which is sick. But the main reason I just am focusing on the YM, I have 2 options. Either the YM sets up really nicely or I don't take anything. And I'm okay with both of those wholeheartedly. Tomorrow's OPEX. I don't care about trading OPEX. I really don't. After this stream's over, I might be on charts a little bit later tonight, but during the day tomorrow, what I do with OPEX, I open the chart. If it looks even remotely shit, I close it. I got no reason to be here. I made enough money yesterday to make up my week. I'm cool. The rest of it, don't care about. I think you win more in YM. Trade WAP. That's because I've traded YM like 5 times, and 3 of them have been 300 point or what was that? 330 points, like 600 points, and 1100 points. So yeah, I would comfortably say I win more on the YM than other charts. After gold sending me on tilt 2 days ago because of flash crash, I'll never touch it again. Too choppy and slow, then a random massive candle hits. Low melty. Agreed. I mean, it's one of the reasons I don't like it. And people will look at me crazy because so far, like I said, my whole perspective, I do not like trading gold. Gold's one of those charts where if you catch the move, it moves beautifully. Jake does insanely well on it. He loves trading this thing. I don't like it from me trading it. I do not like how it is. I do not like how it acts at all. But oil, on the other hand, this chart's even more volatile than gold at times. And I love this chart. I love trading this chart and I'll trade it all the time without any hesitation. It's just because I also know how this moves the majority of the time. I understand how the volatility typically reacts on this, where you'll get those massive rejections and then it'll completely reverse 3% back to the upside or downside. Still being patient on any potential entries. Oil is trying to get buying pressure above the open. Like I said, if it's pushing above the open, not interested in longing any of the indexes. I'm also not shorting the indices. Not a shot in hell. Not a shot in hell. If we pull back tomorrow, we pull back, I will be cashed. If you want to short, y'all do you. But no, it ain't me. Another day, not today. Yeah, David, gold's just one of those names. When it trends, and I'll be honest, when gold trends, it trends amazing. And that's why people love it. That's why people absolutely love it. But when it consolidates, it kills everybody. Do you trade options? I do. I trade options all the time. I've talked about multiple options trades in these chats that have moved quite literally thousands of percents, hundreds to thousands of percents on most of the options trades we talk about. Gold took me on a ride at like 3 hours of sleep. XP, yeah. Yeah, I got back. I fixed my sleep schedule and they got back on it last night. I went to bed at like 3:30 in the morning because I stayed up for Alan's whole stream and I was just watching YM. I knew I didn't have to worry about it because we were decently in profits and it was never coming back. So I just wrote it. How you doing, 44? I'm doing great. What up, Dev? How you doing? Took another big payout. Hell yeah. On a good few weeks. Love it, Johnny. Y'all have been just crushing the market. Absolutely crushing it. 5-minute chart on silver looks good to long, but I don't like trading silver. Well, if it's anything remotely close to gold, it probably looks like shit. I mean, I don't trade silver. My first perspective is looking at this chart, looking at this price action on the hourly. Can it hold? Yeah. Is it something that I would want to be in? Personally, no. Something you can pay attention to is this. We did sweep these lows. I'll give you that. We swept this pivot low, trying to hold. If it holds for the next 13 minutes, it could see some nice potential. For me, though, obviously, if I don't trade gold, I'm not going to be trading silver. Once again, we are paying attention to oil. What are we looking at now, though? We have 12 minutes. If this hourly fails to go higher, big if, but if it does, we could start to see the indices push back up. If they push back up, then I get interested. If not, we're likely sitting on hands for a minute. Dave says I want to be like ASP when I get older. Yeah, Johnny, I like watching the insights between everybody on the different streams. I love it. I like watching it, just listening to what everybody says, because so many people will have a different perspective too. And most of them I'll look at and be like, all right, do I agree with that or do I not agree with that? Mitch lately, I will say, has been on a tear. Demands there's something with that gamma that I don't understand yet that seems to work pretty freaking well. Thoughts on RTX, LHX puts? We getting out of the war names? Because that's Raytheon, right? I mean, the chart looks rough. Daily, yeah. I mean, who asked that? Eric? Oh, figures. Eric. You used to always ask about these. Yeah. I mean, looking at this chart, it's not something I'd want to long at all. You know this looks terrible. You just wanted me to look at it. But you know that chart looks like absolute dog water on the weekly and the daily. Yeah, I agree. I see what you're looking at. I agree with it. What's the other one? This one's a little bit stronger, but not really. More so what I would want to see. Okay, this one's actually something I can do a little bit more analysis on. I want to see this. You know what these lines usually mean for me? Hang on, let me fix this. Style, extend, right, left, boom. Pay attention to this area. If we hold this area, you're retesting prior all-time highs or just prior highs? Prior all-time highs. And if we hold, you could end up setting that higher low. Why am I saying that? Because the monthly. We still have time on this monthly. We still have 2 weeks. If this does hold, push back up towards this month's highs. Now you're looking at a monthly higher low. You can look for that pivot back higher. This one I'm not as in love with. This one's more so see which way it breaks. But I see what you're looking at, the potential there. For me, I think this one's just not as clean. RTX though, if I see a chart like this on the daily, this is like longing the market lately. I'm going to short this chart, and I'd rather, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Appreciate you, TradeWap. Yeah, if you guys enjoy the content, enjoy the streams in general, hit the thumbs up, like the stream, subscribe. It's looking a little dull to get us to 50K by the end of June. There's hope, but we might need to start making some YouTube videos and make some serious YouTube videos with it. GG, why are you saying GG, Eldred? Did Jake's mastermind help you hold winners longer? In the end, yes. Like just understanding the price action in general, yes, but also watching Jake trade and learning. And I'd say also just a lot of self teaching. Because even Jake said it, like he's all of our mentors. But like he said before a few days ago, he's not going to try to take credit for everything we do because we put in a lot of outside work to our strategies. And that's kind of where that also comes in, like psychologically. Because the number one reason I could look at charts. I can look at something and say, holy shit, this could easily make a 30% move, and it will. And am I going to hold for 30%? In the past, hell no. I'd hold for 2%, close out, and then stare at the chart, rip the other 28. Why? Because most of the time I would just be sized heavy and psychologically just staring at the dollar. But no, for me now, yeah, I can hold longer. The number one thing I do to help it, and it helped from multi-time frame analysis, part of the strategy, was going to different time frames. You guys saw it multiple times yesterday with YM. All I needed to do was zoom out, go to the 4 hour. That candle did absolutely nothing. Unless we broke this low, I would have been out. That would have been my stop. And I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. Then I look for a possible reentry or whatever. Never got down there. We just continued to push, continue to consolidate near the highs of the range. If we break, we go right back to where we wanted to, the prior highs. So for me, it's just going back time frames. If I'm looking at a 5-minute chart and panicking on something that I want to hold for 12 hours, I'm doing it wrong, you know? Told you NQ gonna crash without me. Yeah, you were waiting for that extra 20 points, weren't you, brother? I mean, it didn't crash yet. If it loses the open, it might crash. But yeah, Pram, the broader perspective, it did, but I won't just say the mastermind is what led me to hold longer because it took me a lot of like self work in the end, you know. I still give it the credit, 1000%. I'm gonna binge the mastermind recordings like a Netflix show. Pram, something you probably don't know and a lot of you might not know is I took the very first mastermind 5 years ago. And I watched that mastermind, not every single lesson, right? The core lessons. So like three, no, two. Two to lesson 5 and then lesson 8 and now lesson 9. I skipped all the other ones on the recordings because one's going through a broker, the other one is the basics of options. I know the basics of options. I watched all those 10 times during my mastermind. And then I helped with mastermind 2 through 15. So I watched all of those lessons as well live. So I've seen the mastermind well over like 23, 24 times. So I've definitely watched it a lot to really be able to make little tweaks and catch new things every single time I watch it to understand it more. Alan's streams are also fire. Alan is crushing these streams, crushing it. And I'm sure it like he's doing well too because he resonates a lot with the overseas people because he travels. And obviously, like just everyone that's not that has like the different time zones. So like the London, the Asia, Australia, all of that. He resonates really well with them because he travels all across the world, from what I'm seeing. Also, he's very good at speaking. Probably also helps with his entire career. Is about that. It's weird because ever since I started trading futures, I could not trade Asia Cess to save my life. Now I struggle to trade New York, and Asia is beautiful. Welcome, Lil Melty. Welcome to the dark side, brother. I love trading Asia Session. Asia Session, I think wholeheartedly where a lot of people struggle with Asia Session is it comes down to patience and expectations. You have to manage both or you will get slaughtered in this time frame. You will. If you have extreme expectations, you're going to get chopped to hell a lot of times. Or you might not get that full move and you'll get that reversal. If you don't have patience, you'll get in early. Like on me wanting a YM long, I could have got in right here on this break below the open. The number one thing I said, I wanted above the open. Holding that bit of patience saved me from losing a trade because that would have stopped me out most likely. Well, yeah, close enough. I'm going to say it would have because that would have stopped me out. It's just patience is everything in this session along with expectations. A lot of people don't have as much patience as you need in this time frame because they're used to New York. With New York, if you miss a trade setup within 20 minutes, there's probably another one forming at some point on some chart. That's not the case here. If you miss a trade setup in this session, you have 20 to 30 minutes of that setup still triggering to where you can get in. And then you'll be in that trade for 4 to 16 hours if you really want to hold. So I think it's just a completely different perspective that people need to have to be able to trade this. Gotta head out. See you, Adam. Does NQ look like it's going for a dump or it's still rallying upwards? Does it count if I say it's going to dump? Because I know you asked that up here, but update if you don't know yet, it's going to dump. Eldred, what are you in? I always struggle with holding winners. Now I change my perspective. If I'm long, I hold my trade until I see a reason for me to believe we should flip trend and go short. If not, why sell? Low melty, that is all. That is exactly what trading is. That is. There's two ways to get out of positions for me personally. Either you just continuously watch that chart, and when you find a setup or somewhere that you would like to flip bias, when you look at something and say, oh, this is where I'd want to go short. Like for instance, if I longed NQ here, if you're looking at this chart and you get this breakout here, for me, the second it breaks below here, I would want to short that chart because we're losing a support. So if we lose that, I wouldn't want to be in that trade anymore. That's where I would end up looking to get out if I'm in that long, and vice versa. Right here, if I'm short, if we get back over the open, I'd be a little more hesitant. If we get back over this little wick area here around like 705, I wouldn't want to be short. I would get out. And that's kind of how I like to trail positions if I'm not setting like target areas. Which during the session, y'all know I like to set target areas. Why? Because I go to sleep and let my trade do whatever it does. If y'all got time, go watch my interview with Jake on this channel. We got to do another one. We do. Because that was, what was that, 3 years ago? How is YM? YM looks like shit. So does the whole market. No, Pram. No, not at all. I do not think you were trying to discredit anything in the slightest. Not even a little bit. Something I have learned very well from streams, and this takes a lot. It doesn't seem like it would be that hard, but you have to be so open-minded with every comment somebody makes on the stream. Because you have to, like, you don't know what intent they said it with. How they actually meant it. And that's why I always try to ask like questions around statements that I'm like, all right, what did he really mean by that? Because stuff can be taken so out of context. You guys could say something so simplistic, but if I'm in like a slightly salty mood and I take it in the worst aspect possible, I'm going to be irritated and pissed when you never meant that. So that's just something that I used to be really bad at that, but it took me a while to overall just come to fruition with that. And it ain't easy. That's why I always just ask a lot of question rounds. But no, I didn't think you were discrediting anything at all in the slightest. I also just didn't want it to seem like I didn't want to like sound like I was discrediting the mastermind, but also didn't want to say the mastermind is the only thing that made me hold longer, you know? Mastermind showed me how to read the market, understand price action paired with multi-time frame, really helped me buy and sell setups. Agreed, David. It's a really, really good foundation. Yeah, Joe, I lift. Do you want to talk about Apple? I had to step out. If so, approximately how long ago? Moke, the market's not doing anything, so we'll look at Apple. We'll do it. Apple for me, I mean, it's a strong chart, strong as shit. Daily inside bar at all-time highs, it's simple. If we break and it looks good tomorrow, you could look to long it. I mean, it's just, if the overall market is going to go is the thing. What I would do is if I'm looking to trade tomorrow, I would kind of go towards the stock market wolf method. Grab a few bigger tech names that hold the most weight, so like Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, see how they're reacting around the open. Look at SPY, look at QQQ. If everything looks good pre-market, maybe you have interest in longs. If half of them look good, half of them look like shit, including the indices, I'm probably not going to do anything. I'm not. Just because tomorrow's one of those days where you could easily get cooked. Friday, OPEX, more people than not, especially NQ up 30% off the lows. It's a situation where people can get steamrolled. Joe, I don't do the core lifts like that. I mean, like I do dumbbell bench. I know plus I know like what I can regularly bench, but I don't go for PRs and maxes. Because the last thing I want to do is injure myself trying to PR when I don't really need to. Like if I was powerlifting, I would. For me though, I do a lot of like I'd say broader strength, maybe like mobility. Like for squats, I do Zercher squats and front squats. Or if I want to go for muscle growth, I'll do pendulum. So I rotate between those three. Fun fact, hedge funds do insane levels of research just to underperform a 20-year-old full porting MU. I do a ton of hypertrophy, most because I play so much pickleball. That's fair. That's fair. I saw a funny video on Instagram today because I was doom scrolling a little bit. I was. And it was some dude that he does like the most motivate the most like testosterone inducing hobbies, like shooting guns, fishing, lifting, all like hunting, all of it, which I do a lot of. But the comment, like the quote on it was, imagine having to tell your wife you play pickleball, or like your wife's dad, you play pickleball. I'm like, dude, it's not that serious. Great engagement bait. Great engagement bait. But stuff like that rage baits people so hard, and I fucking love it. 30-point bar down. Are you talking about on NQ? Yeah. I mean, you'll have to remember the Asia session just opened. We're gonna see volatility. It's how it goes. I'm still just waiting on YM. Gold's trying to hold a little bit. Hopefully, whoever was trying to get in earlier waited. But so far, this has just been patience. NQ's or not NQ. YM's lagging hard. If YM keeps being the weaker index, I'm not doing it. Joe, it's also because they know how people are on the internet. And what's the number one form of content? Rage baiting people. The people who talk the most in any platform, even on YouTube, is the people that you piss off. This is the greatest way to grow. It is. It truly is. Like, I guarantee you, if I spent time making some troll video about ICT and just ragging on them, it would probably do well. How to rage bait you? So to truly rage bait me, I'd be impressed. Unless I am just in a god awful mood, then rage baiting would be very hard. Because I have a very long fuse to like actually get pissed. I will say though, the number one way to rage bait me is just pure stupidity. Just being fucking dumb. It annoys the hell out of me. It's not like it's not lack of knowledge, but it's just being dumb about stuff. Just got 23 points in about 20 seconds on NQ. Beautiful, a little melty. Also, you could just ban mute anyone who's even slightly annoying. Agreed. AXP easily could. Joe, I was muting people, not muting, but putting people in 30-minute timeouts on Jake's stream, which was fun. It was just anyone who was saying dumb comments that I knew could easily rage bait Jake. I was just throwing him in a 30-minute timeout. I think I did it on Mitch's stream as well. I'm not banning people. Like, I'm not sending them to the shadow realm. They just got to think about what they said for 30 minutes. Let it resonate. You come back, see if you've grown or not. If you haven't, I'll do it again. Yeah, crack it off. It was people like that. Armani, I don't know. That was the only person that, like, I would say actually not even irritated me on the stream, but someone like that can rage bait me. Because that, if you guys remember from Sunday, whenever it was, that comment was just stupid. He was just fucking dumb in general. So yes, that rage made me a little bit. It also didn't help that I had just quit nicotine less than 24 hours before that, and I was not doing well. We were in the trenches that day. Oscar, no, he didn't. He just took the loss on the chin. He'll recover it. I mean, the man's up multiple six figures since we started streaming, which is nuts. 5K ain't gonna kill him. Cole, AXP's not still swing long GC. I think he probably gave up on that one for a little bit. He said he's on NQ now, I think. It's 660. Was that him that said that? Yeah. He's been all over the place, though. Rage baiting Jake is pretty simple. It is. During the morning stream, it is. That's why I'm starting to just throw people in like, I'll throw people in 10-minute timeouts. I don't care. 5 minutes, doesn't matter. Just enough to like maybe you just shut up for a second. Because I know people will say that just to rage bait him. Appreciate it, Lil Melty, but one, I can tell you, probably not going to be full quit at some point. I'll probably do it again. Either that or I'm going to look really big into more like nootropic aspects. Because the cognitive boost I loved. In general, I loved. Leave the man alone. Trade. I love Jake. I can say whatever. I'm not talking shit at all. But when he's trading, you have to remember his whole focus is in the market. So if he takes a look at chat and people are saying stuff like they do, it's if I was doing something like that, like if I was trading New York, I could easily be rage baited too. Easily. Especially if a trade's not going against you. You look over once every 5 minutes and someone goes, oh, trade NQ while you're in gold. Then you trade NQ the next day and all you see is, oh, trade gold, filling the entire YouTube chat. You're going to get irritated. Agreed, trade WAP. But also, it's just the point of it. He's also not pissed most of the time. I guarantee it. He's not. You'll know when he actually is, and we've seen him mad, but it's not as often as people think. Yeah, no, Armani, that guy from Sunday definitely irritated me. I'm glad I didn't snap at all because I was very on edge that day. So I'm very happy I didn't snap. Let's see where we're sitting. So we're sitting at that 50,100 area on the or the YM, which is right around the wait. No, the 150 is what we wanted. 50,100 is not bad. It's this pivot back here. I mean, at this point, it'd be so if this 15-minute closes stronger, you can look for a potential entry on it. Main perspective would be, 4 hours still an inside bar. Shit. I don't love much. I don't. I'm watching. I'm willing to take one early entry on the YM. One. It would not be aggressive size at all. Not even the slightest bit. At most, I'd probably take AYM. So like 10 micros. Maybe 15. And that wouldn't even be a huge stop. Yeah, a little melty for the cognitive aspect. I'm pretty sure I'm going to try more nootropic aspects. Like I was using Joe Rogan's Alpha Brain. I just ran out of it because it helps me on streams like in the morning with trading. Just dial in. And that way I don't need to yeet caffeine. Stock market J, I'm not in anything right now. We're just watching. Shorts are playing out well for those that are in. I had one trade idea on the day. And I said, unless that sets up, I'm probably not jumping in. But the reason I said I wouldn't say, like, I don't agree with the congrats yet is it's only been 6 days. I could easily start doing it again tomorrow, but that's just my perspective. My whole goal with this is I have no problem if I use nicotine again, but it's more so I just want to go one more day. And I'm going to go one more day until I don't go one more day. So we'll see how long. You roast him, David, and that's the thing though. I was that like out of my own brain to the point where I was like, just because my head was everywhere because I was just irritated in general, like on edge. And I was able to just disprove everything he said that easily. So it just proved his entire thesis was just dumb. And like I said, nothing pisses me off more than just people being dumb. Cole, that's what I did. And then I went to 6. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to 3. And I went to 3. And all I did was just put 2 to 3 in at a time. I went Nick D run back. Trades blocked. So far, I proved I'm the same person trading wise. I got a little worried early in the week. I'm not going to lie. I took like 1 trade in 3 days because I just didn't like the market. And then I finally took 1 trade and we hit. Cole, I have no clue. I never used TPT. I have yet to make an account with them, so I can't help there. When I'm in a trade, especially if it's going against me, do not bother me. Agreed. Nothing pisses me off more than when I used to trade New York Open and someone would call me at like 9:35 in the morning. I'm like, dude, what do you want? I just entered $1,000 in this 0-day contract. Please kindly fuck off. Joe, you said a lot of stuff that I don't agree with in that statement. And I have felt imposter syndrome before. I mean, I've been basically put on a bit of a pedestal for a decent chunk of my trading career, right? Because Jake and Calvin put their trust in me very early when I personally thought I wasn't even anywhere near worthy to be like showing people charts or talking about analysis. It took me a while to come to the realization that like the imposter syndrome, it's just like FOMO. It's all in your head. It's all just your perspective about yourself. You've done it. I would agree possibly if it was one account. You have 3 funded accounts on your 5th month of trading that are all in profits working towards payouts. It's not just one. Just saying. And they're all different P&Ls, so you're not trading them together. So it's not just one. What's the other part of that? And the jinxing yourself is what I don't agree with. I think jinxing is dumb as hell. I think it's dumb. But to me, I just don't believe in stuff like that. I'm not superstitious at all. I'm really not. Except unless I'm like heavy size in a trade and it's going against me, yeah, I'll ask the stock market gods to help me out this one time and say I'll never do it again. And then you'd bet your ass I do it again later. Real quick. I'm gonna take 1 YM stab here.
Order filled.
Why did that play? So we go preferences. So I did take 1 stab. If it stops me out, I'm like gonna lose like $150. What I'm gonna do, and it's on a broader scale. I said I'm willing to take 1 entry below the open. This is my 1 entry below the open. Where am I in? 09. We're going to do 09. What would be? What would be the loss on that? Current position 59. Valid. I mean, that's the start. If this stops, I'm literally not worried. I'm not aggressively sized, but I'm in. Why are you forcing it? I'm not forcing anything, Cole. If you look at it, we came right down into the support from today, in which we held multiple times. It was a big resistance here. This is a bigger pivot, especially that like 60-ish area. You zoom out on the higher time frames, there's a decent amount of support and resistance around here, especially when you go all the way back here as well. So I'm not forcing anything. It's a bigger pivot. I'm willing to take it, willing to take the risk. I think the stop's definitely worth it, especially if it does hold here. Oh, see, motherfuckers. Yeah, I think it's definitely worth the risk. I don't look at this entry and go, "Holy shit, this is A plus," because it ain't A plus. Not at all. I know that. You know that. We all know that. Think it's worth the risk, 100%. Because to be honest, if I fall asleep with this trade open and we're not at 50,300, y'all want to know what's going to happen? I'm going to go to this chart. I'm going to go like this, slide this bad boy over, and we're going to crank this thing up towards the all-time highs. Because where do we really want to target? Well, let's get looking at her. You have some resistance around 450, so maybe take a trim at like 430 to 450. So yeah, we can mark that area. We'll go around there a little bit. It's like we'll call it 430 for a target. Over that, 570 or 5,700. Over that, 5,900. I think it's worth it. You go to that first area of interest there, we're looking at same thing as last night. Or was that 430? 6.5 to 1. I'll take it. Go up here to the next target. 12 to 1. I'll take it. We hit all-time highs. Holy shit. I'll take it. Will I still be in the trade at all-time highs? No. No, I won't. Not in the slightest. Not even a little bit. But y'all know the bigger picture here that I'd be looking at. Same thing as yesterday. But I am long the YM. Also, what is this little curl I got going on? I keep seeing it on stream and I don't like it. It's weird. Gold looks pretty gross. Gold has been gross as shit. Also, I should have looked at this first, but happy I did now. Oil's below the open. Full send it. Give me YM all-time highs. Gold looks horrible, dude. Am I the only asshole using Trade C? No, Jeff. I love Trade C. Right now, though, I am on Trade of 8 because I have them split. Trade C is my Lucid prop firm or my Lucid whatever. Trade of 8 is my Tradeify. It's down right now. Fuck. That sucks. All right. What are you guys talking about? Because I see y'all talking back and forth. Yeah, Lil Melty. I was trying to do some. I had to clear all my cache and everything on my one Google Chrome because I was trying to do KYC on Tradeify, and that's a nightmare. I've been trying to do it for a week, and it's just not doing it. So I'm working with their support now to figure it out. So I had to clear everything, so all of my settings on stuff changed. All my usernames and stuff got deleted, so I got to put everything back in. It's a pain in the ass. Too many calls. I'm not even Cole IRL, but I liked it. So you're an imposter. Realistically, we want the market to go up until we don't have to work anymore. I don't know if that's how it works, but I agree. If you think about it, though, Joe, with the way the market moves, if we catch the market going down, we can not work sooner because you're going to make way more on a down move than you will on an up move. I put it along for 500 minis. Good fucking luck. Are you long right now? I am, Patel. What up, Polar Bear? Appreciate you, brother. Are you longing? I did, Shiv. Yep. When you see this position on a current chart, current price action, that means I am in. I don't like to put one up unless I'm in. And if I put one up and I'm not in, I quite literally say I'm putting this up. I'm not in a trade. Don't enter. Jono, I'm on Trade of It. Sade, what I would assume is what most people are talking about, where trade C's having issues. So if they're all having issues, I would assume that's why you can't place minis. What's going on, Ramoy? With the last comment you said? Oh yeah, with Jake. Agreed. Agreed. And that's the thing too. One thing you have to remember, and people who do say it, like try to give Jake outside perspectives on his trades, really think about it. Because the number one thing is you're not going to see Umar, Stock Market Wolf, Jake, Jadon, any of them hop in someone's YouTube stream and be like, nah, you should trade this instead of that. Your entry sucks. Your execution's bad. I would trim here. I would move a stop. No, they're gonna let you trade and learn. They're gonna let you do your thing. They don't care. Even if Jake hops in my stream, if he sees me taking a dumb trade, he's likely gonna let me take that dumb trade. Worst case, after he would probably text me and be like, yo, the hell was that? And I'd be like, you know what? You're right. But he's not gonna say it during the stream. Do you like the YM the most? Polar Bear, it usually ES is my bread and butter. But if the YM wants to keep giving us pretty easy 300 to 1,000 point moves overnight, I'm going to trade the YM. I'm going to become a boomer all day, every day. I will trade the YM until I start having a maxed out 401k and I start caring about Social Security. And I blame this generation on why I can't buy a house. What's your stop loss? 50 points. I don't have it set structurally. I just have it 50 points. That means I'm willing to move it a little bit if needed. If we get down here, I'll look at it. To be honest, I was going to put it on this wick. I'm willing to risk 50. 50 is not a crazy stop loss on this. That's equivalent of like 6 points on ES. So for me, I'm going to rock that. There's a letter ride. If I need to adjust it when we get down there, I will. But for now, I'm leaving it. Yeah, dude, you put me on the YM. Beautiful. I put a lot of people on the YM lately. The YM's been moving. Let's look at the other time frames real quick, just to get a slightly better picture. 15 could get a little fail to go lower. The other indices are obviously stronger. We mentioned that earlier. I'm not worried about that. Hourly is the main thing I'm looking at. And yes, we are still far away from that. Far away. To the point where the hourly doesn't really matter right now because we still have over 30 minutes. What I'd kind of be looking at, this is the multiple time. This is my MTFA setup. So as we're looking at it, you can see if the 5 minute does continue, we need to get over like 120s, which is going to be this little pivot. 120 to 140 is a pretty big area. If we get above that, 15 should look a lot better. That would push the hourly to a fail to go lower. That would get the 4 hour closing more so up near the highs. I'd like it a hell of a lot more, and I'd be content just riding it overnight. I'm definitely not opposed to taking a stop on this trade. There was one trade I was interested in tonight, and I'm going to take it. Second payout coming from Lucid tomorrow. Beautiful. Congratulations, brother. Great way to end the week. Future pass trade, are they requiring that for the competition? Is that required for the cup? Because for me, I have to do KYC for payouts. 50 points trade WAP. I'm willing to move it though, so I have room either way. I just threw it at a stagnant 50. Watch us get to 29,999. Trump makes a tweet and crash 1,000 points. That'd be diabolical. GC off a cliff right now. Is it? Okay. Well, then let's look at oil real quick. Oil hourly is a little spicy. It ain't good. It ain't bad. We said GC looked like shit. We did. We made the comment that it didn't look good. And my God, does it really look like shit now? I'm sorry for anybody who longed that one. That's painful. You're not wrong, sir. No, it really looks like shit now. AXP, that's how it usually goes though. When everybody wants something, that's when you're not going to get it. I actually want to see just perspective. I've been doing these lately. So how we feeling? I'm going to throw a little poll up. How we feeling? Bullish or bearish? And this is like into Friday. Doesn't have to just be this session, into the weekly close. How we feeling? Appreciate you, Jimbo. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last part. Not even going to try to pronounce it. It's just general market for the question I asked. It's just general. What do I like in the YM? Trend continuation, yes, but more so if we just simply get above the 50,000 240s, where can we easily go? If we remove everything on this chart, we're sitting in this really kind of nasty weekly consolidation. If we accept above this, we're going towards all-time highs. Do we have to hit all-time highs? No, I won't be holding at all-time highs. However, I do have options where if we hit all-time highs, holy shit, I'm going to have myself a day. Don't expect it, but if it does, it's like a little Christmas treat. But it's looking at the overall perspective. If we do end up getting that buying pressure, that overall continuation on this name, we have room to all-time highs. We have a lot of room, easily. While the other indices continuously pump, continuously look good. You look at the daily chart, this is a really strong daily, no matter what. Yeah, it does have a tiny upper wick. I really don't care about that. There is also a chance it sits within a consolidation. For me, it's more so taking this one trade while we're consolidating up here around this area. We're holding this general prior pivot here on the 4 hour. Also back here on this 4 hour and the hourly as well. So just a really nice area I want to see hold. If it doesn't hold, I'll take a stop. I don't care. I'll take one stop. And if I take this stop, I might not trade again till Sunday. I might not, because I don't care. But I'll take the one trade. It's one trade I wanted. I wanted to risk on overnight. I'm willing to take it. Throw the 50-point stop on. If it fails, it fails. But no, I think just conviction there. It's just if the overall market's going to hold or not. And there's a chance it does pull back, especially gold looks like absolute dog water right now. If oil gets back above the open, I'll be a little more cautious on it. It's going to be a very similar situation yesterday. This is where I currently have my planned stop. I'm willing to take it sooner. I don't know if I'm willing to take it later. I don't. I'm definitely willing to take it sooner. I don't know if I'm willing to take it later. Stop loss dollar-wise doesn't matter, Joe. No, it doesn't. It's 50 points. But if you're desperately wondering, it's $300, right around there. Hope Jake is still holding that gold short. Did Jake take a gold short this morning? Yeah, appreciate you, Jimbo. Appreciate the second half of that comment. And sitting cash on the poll because that's me. I could, but you're leaning one or the other. If not, you don't have to vote. Just leave it. Also, something I'm seeing is how much support we actually get on today's stream with the likes. Because y'all are actually doing better on likes today than yesterday. And there's no giveaway. So I don't understand the likes. But, if you like the stream, if you want to show some support, hit the like button. Unfortunately, for those of you who want giveaways, there is no giveaway today. There's not. Can't give away one every day. We've given away like 30 TPT accounts this week, and I'm sure they'll give away some tomorrow. Ollie, we do know what turtle soup means, and I can tell you I've never been more disappointed in trading. I've lost 7,500 in a day before, and I've never been more disappointed than when I learned what turtle soup meant and how much of just a letdown that is. Future pass trader, it's interesting. I didn't know they did it for the cup. It's probably easier to just have everyone do it now rather than do it if they win something on the cup. Because if they request someone to do it, and let's say someone knocks out Jake that didn't expect to win any money, or knocks out another trader and they didn't expect to win any money, now they're getting paid 5K. They can't get paid 5K until they do the KYC, and it's a whole shit show. So it's easier to just have people do it now. Eldred, not today. At least not by me. Alan might. Unless y'all buy an account, get a code, give it to me to give away, then we'll do a giveaway. Other than that, no. But yeah, the KYC aspect, I just need to do it so that way I can get my payout. But I'm working with their support to figure it out. What's crazy is I told Jake this because I've been dealing with this for like a week on the back end. This is only the second time I've tried it in a week, but I was like, all right, I'm a day or two away from possible payout. Might as well do it now. I've been an affiliate with them for over a year. I've gotten payouts before. I know Brett. I have Brett's fucking personal phone number. What else do you need to know about me? Like, you know what you need to know. But still got to do it. Gold going to 46.07. 46.07. Gold's done for, dude. Gold is done. It's at the lower end of this little bullshit I drew. And also, I know I've been swearing a lot today. I don't know why. It's just me. If you don't like it, there's other streams. Some days I don't do it a lot. Some days I do. Today's one of the days. It's technically our Friday. We do what we want. Gold might have a weekly failure to go higher. If gold has a weekly failure to go higher, imagine this monthly 3-bar plays. Gold goes all the way back to 40, basically 4,100. That'd be brutal. That'd kill some morale for some people. 46.20s is definitely an area that I want to pay attention to. But no, I'm keeping eyes on oil. Keeping eyes on, obviously, YM. See how we react. If we hold here, I like it. If not, oh well. Does Brett still trade? Yeah, Brett still posts on either Twitter or Instagram. But he when he trades. Brett takes a position, and from what he posts, it's like 20 NQ. Ali, I've heard of a good chunk of the Outlaws. Like, I've heard of them. Don't know many of them at all. I know Jake and Jadon. It is influencers. Who else would it be for the most part? People that work at Tradeify and influencers. That's kind of who they want it to be. Because if you think about it too, let's say you take, because they also want people to, with the Outlaws, it's not like someone they're like, oh my God, this person we're going to put in and we want them to win. But if you knock them out, it's $5,000. What would be more fun for the overall competition? You want traders you can still kind of knock out if you just trade well, you know? Now, some of them will probably try to trade crazy. Some of them probably won't trade good at all. That's just how these competitions go. But you're not going to want to take people without names and just throw them out there and say, oh, $5,000 bounty on this guy's head because he's done well with us. You're going to want to take someone like, let's say, PB Trades or some of the other big traders to where they have big followings. People are going to join so that way they can just try to battle them eventually with hopes of it. When does it start? I think the entries end in 3 days. Hang on, let me sign in. 2 days, 22 hours, 22 minutes, and 11 seconds. No, she trades micros. If you've had an account, you don't. You don't need to. Still watching the overall market. Sorry, I'm actually signing up for the competition right now. What do you mean cook times 2, Eldred? Oh, did you get stopped? Oil's looking a little strong here. I don't like it. We're down what, 20 points? What are we sitting at? That ain't bad. Little beady drawdown. Where's primary goal, proprietary? Sure. Ninja Traders competition 2, sign up. Nah. I don't want to sign up for Ninja Traders. Dude, I guarantee you, I'm signing up to this for fun. I'm not going to join this competition and be like, holy shit, I'm going to sweat my ass off for this. I'm not. I'm probably going to just aim for absolute home run trades that I just hold for multiple 100 points on the YM or like 50 plus points on ES and call it a day. Because for me, if I'm going to focus on those kind of trades, why wouldn't I just take them on my funded accounts? You know? Now, mind you, yes, you can make $200,000 if you win and you can do well. But also, if anyone paid attention to the last challenge that they did, if you made like $2,000, you made it into the second batch of people. Because a mass majority of traders blew up or just nuked their consistency rule and failed. Well, not their consistency rule, their contract limit rule. But you got to remember too, 98% of people fail. A mass majority of traders are simply going to fail. If you make just a little bit of money and let the account coast, there's a chance you make it in. I'm not saying like $200 or whatever, but just the overall. Rake 2 was in third place. That was crazy. Ollie, yeah, that was nuts. I'm looking to possibly just close this up here because oil's showing some strength. We're not holding at the moment. I think this can get a lot more volatile, especially with gold just selling off aggressively. What is the YM doing? I'm watching this hourly lost its lower wick. We're back at the session lows. I'm watching, but I don't like it. I don't. Then again, I didn't like yesterday's at one point either. So watch how oil reacts to the open. If it rejects the open, we're fine. Still have 17 minutes. It can do something. If it doesn't, though, I'll close. What up, Futures King? How you doing? Futures, that's valid. But also, I feel like that's kind of just like a, I wouldn't even say it's like a corny reply. It's just an odd reply because it's not about the real money competition aspect because you can make a bunch of money off of trading in this competition. You can quite literally make $200,000 if you win. It's more than most people make in a real money competition. But the reason, like the people that are asking for the outlaws, it's not people that they're like, oh my God, please come and win the $200,000. If they win, cool. But in reality, they probably want some random person to win because it'd be cooler. Yeah, Ollie, it was, well, no, it was team based, but the team based aspect was a separate competition versus the actual like Grand Cup. Like there was like a 5K cash prize or something for the top of each team, I think, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to figure out who was top of our team. I remember who it was in the beginning, but I forget now. So apparently Asia went a little negative. Was it Asia? Oh, this isn't moving yet. Okay. This one open yet? I know I'm delayed, so probably not. We'll see if we hold this sweep low. At this point, I'm just watching the chart, leaving my stop for now. I'm willing to risk what I'm risking. Dio, on what? Of how more people are now inputting their answer that they lean bearish after the moves happening to the downside so far. I'm just watching the percentage on the bottom of my screen just trickle one way. NQ's in a 100-point chop. Agreed. I mean, we're not, this isn't bullish or bearish to me, especially on ES and NQ. They're just stuck. What's why I'm doing is pulling back a little bit. Can this easily crack to the downside? Yes. I'm not saying, oh my God, this has to hold. It's going to hold this and that. If it holds, cool. If not, oh well. I'll probably call it a week at that point. I voted bearish before that move. I don't know if I believe you. I don't know. See a lot of people changing. What percentage is 33% are bearish? Interesting. You think it cracks to the downside? Let's take a broader look. If it does, it'd be a little more so unexpected for me just because the 4-hour, I'd rather see it spike higher first or at least fail to get over something. It hasn't really failed at all. Can it push down? Yeah, easily. Hourly triggering, but how it closes this hourly is going to be a lot. If we get a failure to go lower, it's similar shit to last night, where it's just a little bit of a consolidation, possible pullback. If we do end up pushing here in the next 13 minutes and push down more aggressively, I would fully expect some, at least a decent pop lower. Next 13 minutes is going to be really important, though. It was 21% when I voted, I think. It's fair. Yeah, future past trader. Last year, I can tell you, I like during the Tradeify competition, I was like, oh my God, people are going to see like all of my trades. And Jake was live trading at the time. I was just posting my trades in Discord. And then I saw how much Jake truly didn't care how he performed in it. And that was exactly how I felt after that. Like this year, if I do well in that account, cool. If I don't do well, cool. We're locked to one mini. Y'all know I don't trade one mini. I want to more so be able to trim micros. If I'm trimming micros, I'm already setting myself back. I don't like trading NQ or gold. That sets me back versus the others. Oh, well. Do you have to pay to enter? No, it's free. Just go on to Tradeify, log in, and it should allow you. You might be able to use I don't know if you can use a promo code Jake or whatever, just to like let them know you're with Jake, but it's free. You just got to answer a little questionnaire that I just did. I did it on stream. It was like 3 things. What up, IAG? Think we get down to New York Open on NQ? I'll have to look. I think I get stopped out on YM. I think that happens. Oil's breaking the open. This oil hourly chart, unless this thing, something comes out and it just cracks to the downside, that's strong. That's decently strong. Pretty strong hourly. Where is NQ's New York Open? Or is that down here? So open 476. I mean, anything's possible. It is. For me, it's not a chart where I'm looking for extreme downside. Can we get it? Yeah, easily. We could easily get stronger downside, but I'm looking at this 4 hour. We're in a 4 hour consolidation below all-time highs. I'm going to have the same thesis I've had for the past 2 weeks straight, Same with the hourly. Hourly consolidation right below all-time highs. What are we in? Just look at the candles. We're in shit. This is OPEC's price action at the fullest, So I'm not overly bullish or bearish in either direction. For me, it's if YM shapes up. Right now, it's not shaping up. It's shaping like shit. But if it did shape up, got that hourly fail to go lower, then I'd be looking for that break. If it got that break, cool. If we get over 50,300, I think there's a lot of potential for movement. I think the risk to reward was definitely worth it. And I'll take that trade again. Still technically in it. Holding on by 10 points, which is why I fully expect that stop to get hit. Gold in all caps. Looks the same. Still looks like shit. It does. Gold's down at that 620 area, which is a pretty decent support from the past, if I remember right. Yeah. Pretty decent pivot here. I mean, if gold holds this, could be a swing low type perspective where it looks to pivot back higher on it. I'm not putting my money on it. I don't believe it enough. But there's a possibility it is. So you could draw something out where it holds that general area. But that's not a chart I'm longing. What am I even talking about? I'm not trading that. I'm not even going to draw on that because I don't even think it'd be worth doing. Close to being stopped. For real, only reason you lean short is gold. I currently am expecting the downside because oil is above the open and pushing. If oil continues to push, we likely see some aggressive downside. Well, not likely, just more so the potential of it grows. I'm pretty sure we just got wicked. Yep, we got to stop for now. Bear flagging down for GC. GC already did the bear flagging down, is my thing. At this point, I wouldn't have any interest in gold anywhere, personally. You're in gold, bounced at your 618 fib level. Okay. What off like this area down here? My problem is, like, if I look at this chart, this is a 5 minute, this is the current session. It's just not interesting at all in the slightest. That looks terrible. It does. I can't find a time frame on this chart that gets me interested in longing it. I can't. I honestly don't know if I can find a time frame on any of these charts right now that get me interested in longing, except oil. I took my risk, took my loss. I'm likely just leaving it there. If we see some bigger, broader pivot, I'm open to taking YM again. But now, after taking one loss, I need to see actual conviction. I had a little bit there, nothing that was like, holy shit, this is great conviction. But the next trade I want to take would be, oh my God, this is an entry. I kind of really want to be in this. Then I'll take it. If I don't get that before I go to sleep, I'm not taking it. Fibsburg, every time you place it, this might piss some people off. It might. You can place fibs basically anywhere, and it works. It's true. It is. I've seen perspectives where like you can just continuously change fib on the higher time frames at least, especially on like the 5 minute. I'll see people just pick a high and just move the fib until it works. And eventually you'll be in the center of that GP right where it held. It's similar to trend lines. Now, mind you, I give you more credit than trend lines. I do. I mean that from the heart. I give fibs a lot more credit than trend lines. Trend lines are even worse because you can quite literally draw them anywhere and continue to move them until they work. Fibs, not as much, but you can also just draw fibs until something looks good. Something. Oh, what I just move? Let's mess around with some fibs. Well, almost in the GP there. But if you look at it, see, look, if you just, instead of you just go from this wick, if you go, I'm going to go to that one. Out GP. Easy. Yeah, GP there. Maybe I want to go from this candle's wick. Out right in the middle of the GP there. You can always just wiggle them a little bit and they work. And obviously, I am nitpicking the hell out of that. What's oil doing? If it rips hard like this, likely the top. I think we about to squeeze again, but violent. You mean back to the upside, AXP? Or are you talking about gold again? I can easily see us push higher here. The reason I can't take an entry is I'm not going to enter right where I just got stopped out. I think that's delusional. On NQ, yeah. NQ gets above the open. I can see it. If oil rejects, if it pushes lower, it still has 5 minutes to like make this 15, I guess, a little uglier, but it's not going to be crazy ugly. I can see it. I'm not in love with it. My problem is YM could squeeze back to the open. Well, YM could squeeze back to like over 115 and I probably won't enter. If it sets up some type of higher low, fixes the hourly, and then looks a little better there, I might. Are you in YM? No, Jordan, I got wicked out there. I will say though, if this is the low and we do this, diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Like I said, I'm interested. I'm not just going to buy in at the low. I'm not here to time a bottom. Technically, tried it a little bit there, but I said I was getting in early. I like the potential of the time frames. Overall conviction wasn't quite there. I got it on the 15-minute trigger. Didn't hold. But I'm going to be patient no matter what. Steve, are you talking about the DIA calls? Short entry here for me may get wrecked. Stop 706. Rejecting the open. I see what you're looking at. Yeah, Steve, I did. And Steve, that was wholeheartedly, like I said in the Discord. I know you're not saying anything bad about it. Like I said in the Discord, wholeheartedly, a high risk trade that I am just willing to hold. 1,000%. And I can show you exactly why off of a really interesting perspective. that got me interested. So obviously we were talking about the YM possibly getting all-time highs, right? We're going to use today's high, which is the New York session high, which will work. If we look at this chart, go here, because I'm going to do a little maths for the contracts that makes it really make sense. So YM to all-time highs, 1.25%. You would say that pretty realistic. And this isn't just for Steve, it's for anyone that knows the trade I'm in. Because the trade I'm in, most would look at it and say it's delusional, because it is a little bit, completely delusional. 1.24%. That's easily achievable if it happens. If it happens, cool. So 1.24% off today's highs. What did I do? I went to the Dow Jones, which is the DIA. Go to today's highs. So 1.24. If you go off of this, take the percentage tool off the highs. Go 1.24. Where does that put this? That puts that at 508. I got 505 contracts risking full size at 27 cents. If we get up there to 508.3, those contracts minimum are worth $3.30. That is a 1,100% return for a 1% move on the Dow Jones, which just broke out on the daily chart. I'm willing to swing that anytime. Off like small position size, just holding. If it hits, it hits. If not, oh well. Will some call that gambling? 1,000%. I really don't give a shit, to be honest. But for me, that whole trade is just, if it works, cool. It would add a little buffer to my week, a little bit more profit. If it doesn't, kind of expected not to. Every market tops in the overnight session. A lot of the bigger moves happen in the overnight session. I could see it happening. I'm not saying the market's going to top. I would expect YM to hit all-time highs at some point before we top. Also, I think the overall market's going to be propped up longer than people think. I could be horribly wrong. Horribly. When's expiry on those? Tomorrow. That's why they're 27 cents a piece. And that's why if it moves 1%, it's 1,000%. See it a little bit melty. I don't know exactly how long I'm staying on today. We'll see. But yeah, Jin, I mean, those opportunities are there multiple times a week. Between now the fact that there's multi-expiration across all the big tech, you can find 1,000% moves. It's just getting the right entry, holding, and letting it move. But for me to look at a chart like the Dow, this thing today moved off yesterday's lows to the highs, 1%. If we make that move plus 0.25%, which isn't crazy, it's OPEX Friday, a lot of shit could happen. If we make that trade goes 1,000%. You put $500 in, there's potential upside of 5,000. Am I going to hold all the way to the peak? I don't know. We'll see. What I'm probably going to do, to be honest, set an alert. If it hits, cool. She trades micros, DIA. The only thing that sucks with the Dow, it only has Friday expiration. That is it. That's why I primarily only trade it near the end of the week, if I do. But also, if that trade, let's say, goes to 0, I risk a sixth of today's profits overall, maybe. I would risk my options position from today that I took. That's it. So it'd be low risk on the week. It's basically one of those ones where, like, if it hits, cool. If not, oh well, was worth it. NQ shorts incoming, good for 15. If we keep rejecting the open from below, I could see it. The problem is, I think we're doing nothing. I think the overall market's stuck, stagnant, sideways, not knowing where we want to go. And that's exactly what's happening. Likely going to wait more so till the overnight session, maybe London open. Could be. We'll see. We just got the 9 o'clock open, so we'll see if volatility kicks up. If not, and we stay kind of stagnant here, I'll probably just call it a stream, call it a week. Because I don't see anything that I'd personally want to do. But I will say, no matter what time when I end stream, I will still be keeping an eye on the YM. I will. I'll be watching for the trade. because I think the risk to reward is definitely there for tomorrow. Does it have to happen tomorrow? No, it can happen Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, doesn't matter. See you later, Com. But it's going to be a name that I keep my eyes on for a minute. And you guys are going to hate me because all I'm going to be interested in trading is the YM until it looks terrible. I'm back in the DGen hours? No. To be fair, we have earned the right for DGen hours, and I do have a new eval, but this market, I don't think this is like DGen hour setup. We got a little bit of volatility, but if we got continued volatility or some like really good setups, I would. I don't like it. I don't like it enough. NQ is ugly. Everything's ugly. If NQ gets back over the open, it's fixed. I mean, NQ and ES have the lower wick that I wanted YM to have. But I did lose 1R on the YM, which is what? Like between a sixth and a seventh of yesterday's profits on that trade. So not too shabby. What are you guys in? I'm sure someone's shorting. I know probably a decent amount of you are shorting, especially NQ off the open. Someone's probably long as well. Oil is just barely holding. Gold still looks terrible. The indices just don't look good right now. Yeah, Futures King, I fully see it. The rejection of the open on NQ is beautiful. If it holds that rejection and pushes back lower, I think a lot of people got faked in on this spike lower. So I think it could easily push if it wants to. If bears do take over and bulls don't get us back over the open here soon, I think we can push lower pretty simply. Yesterday was a great trade. Did you close before it dumped? Yes. Victoria, I literally woke up around like 8:20ish, somewhere around there. Around like here and closed. I woke up, saw this kind of just up right near our target, and I was like, I could wait for 10 points or I could just get out. So I got out. That's usually what I do. I'll wake up in the morning, check the charts. If it looks good, close it immediately. If it looks like shit or I got stopped out, I'm just like, oh well. And I'm not gonna lie. Something funny because he's in chat. The reason I knew, the first reason I knew YM worked was I looked at my phone and I had a DM from Joe about the YM trade from last night. I had no clue it even hit yet. No clue. First thing I looked at my phone, I saw the Discord DM from Joe. Said something about the YM. I'm like, oh, what'd it do? Looked at the broker. I'm like, oh, sick. Hit the trade. Congratulations. Chad always wants to short. To be fair, right now, it makes sense. But I lean more neutral. I'm not short in this market. I'd rather once again be stopped going long than short. Can you buy evals and hold them until you want to use them, or do you have to pass them within a month of purchase? All right, Gandhi. So this is a very important thing. Hang on, let me spit my gum out because it's stale. This is a very important thing with evals and prop firms in general. I know I probably echoed a little bit there, but with evals and prop firms, they have rules about you not trading an account. There's like for alpha, it's 10 trading days. You can have an account and not worry about it, but if you just completely avoid it for weeks, they'll likely close the account down because they want people continuously trading. And or you could message them, say, "Hey, I'm doing this. I'm not going to be trading that account," and you rock with that. How long does it take you guys to finish 50K evals? But so moral of that story, just make sure you trade it a little bit every once in a while. Even if you just take a micro once a week, something like that. Hang on one sec. I'm currently not stalking any trades. I'll mention that right now. I'm not overly interested. I took my one stab for now. I need a lot to happen before I'm interested. But yeah, make sure you trade those like once a week, or at least DM their support and let them know you can't trade them for a little bit because they will revoke it. Ollie, we could chop in this range until close tomorrow. Easily. A lot of people want NQ 30,000. We could sit right here for the next 24 hours. Not 24, whenever the market closes, 16, whatever it is, and just crush everybody. Ali, about 3K. I got 1,500 on the 2 accounts. But for me, I haven't talked about it. I've mainly just talked about the overall points because, like I said, none of that matters until it's a payout in the slightest. I mean, I could easily show on social media, oh my God, made 3K of this overnight trade. Sick. Was it sick? Yeah. More so the fact that it was like a 7R or whatever it was. I'll take that all day. But yeah, I just wholeheartedly believe that the money isn't there until it's there. I knew why it worked because I did not see a notification from TradeEvade about filling my stop order. Valid. Yeah, I usually set alerts near my stops. That way it lets me know. So I need to know if I really need to get out of bed or not. The last hourly body is below a bunch of hourly bodies. On NQ, the last one isn't. I mean, the last one's here. I mean, if I'm looking at this, I'm not saying it's below this, and this, because it's basically on par. If it closed like this, I would agree. But when it's like that, it's more so like stagnant. But I see what you're looking at for the most part. Market crash. I wouldn't even call it a crash, just a pullback. We're in a range. So the question from before, how long does it take you guys to finish 50K evals? Anywhere from a day to 2 weeks. Fade the pull. Ahmad, if you faded the pull last night, you guys smoked, brother. Fade the pull could work. It could. Someone's gonna be right, someone's gonna be wrong. Right now, 32% of you are right, 68% are wrong. But I'm willing to bet a mass majority of that 68% didn't trade. But no, it all depends on how fast you want to pass it. For me, I really don't care. I use prop firms that charge me one time total. Consistency, Evo, no consistency. Which one do you prefer? DMR, it depends on the prop firm. I prefer consistency on the eval because most of the time, if you have consistency on the eval, you don't have consistency on the funded. And I like funded without consistency. And a really good perspective is the 2 fundeds I'm trading have consistency. And I bent myself over with that consistency on our last YM trade. Not this one, the one before. The last one screwed me last week. And now this one, it helped a little bit. But now I still have to make 1,500 to get a payout. Consistency eval doesn't make it harder. It just, if you think about it, you can't eat it in one day. You just have to be consistent and you're good. Too many people try to pass it as soon as possible. If I have a consistency eval, what I do is I'll set a hard take profit to kick me out at that 50% mark or whatever the eval consistency is. And I'll trade normally. If I make $600, I don't care. If I make $800, I don't care. If I make $300, I don't care. I do not care how much I make as long as I'm working towards that, passing it. I don't mind taking a while to pass an eval because I'm trading other accounts while I'm doing that as well. They want you to fail? Not necessarily. You can look at it. I feel like that's so the way you can look at prop firm rules is you can look at it glass half full or glass half empty. A lot of people are going to look at them and say the prop firms want you to fail. That's why the rules are designed how they are. In my personal opinion, the rules are there to protect the company because in the end of the day, it's a company. The last thing the company wants is the account to be built so anybody who opens an account can get a payout. Why? Because then the company goes under. For me, I'd rather have a prop firm with rules like that so I know the company is going to be able to pay me out and they're not going to go under, which is also why I don't chase after prop firms that have these like insane rules that just don't logically make sense. Because in the end of the day, you have to remember it's a company. For me, I want them to thrive because then I can continue to use them and make money and thrive as well. So that's why I don't look at them as they're set to make you fail. There are rules where if you can consistently trade, you should be able to find a prop firm account that fits your trading style, no matter what kind of account it is. You should be able to find one that fits your trading style. If you can't, the prop firms aren't the problem. I hate to be the one to tell you that, but the prop firms aren't the problem. See you, Dev. 100%. Make the money, fund your life. Then you don't have to worry about rules. Why are you not trading TPT? Haven't opened an account. Straight up. You too, Dev. I haven't opened a prop firm account with TPT, so I'm not going to use them. Jake actually did offer me an account, but I didn't open an account, so that's on me. But I'm just rocking with Tradeify right now. I rock with Tradeify and Lucid for the most part. I'm not one where everyone likes a prop firm, so I'm going to jump on it. I'm cool rocking 2 prop firms. Let's say I max both those prop firms. It gives me 10 funded accounts. What the hell do I need to go to TPT for? And also, yes, TPT has uncapped payouts. If big futures days for me are 1,500 per account, I don't have to worry about uncapped payouts. If I want daily payouts, Tradeify has daily payout accounts. I could use that. Not a problem. I don't have to go to like TPT, you know? But I get why people like it, 100%. But the uncapped payout's not going to impact me in the slightest. Because what I make in a great day is on par with what I need to get payouts. I also don't want to have 95 prop firm accounts. You signed up for Tradeify Grand Cup. I am, Victoria. I'm signed up for it. I think it'll be a fun thing to trade, maybe on like stream as well. But just overall, I have lower expectations for me because I trade stuff like ES and YM. A lot of other people trade stuff like NQ and gold. If you know, you know. I'm already at like a 50% P&L disadvantage. So I'm going to trade it for fun. If I do degen hours, to be honest, in that time period, I might load up that account and be like, let's see what we can do. I want to get matched with the gurus. A lot of people do. That's why they put him in there. A lot of people are going to be hyped, be like, oh my God, I get to go against this person. 5K wins huge, especially if you find someone who's willing to throw for you. Like if you match up with someone, they're like, I'm going to trade, but I'm not going to go too crazy. You're good. But if you find someone who is like a titan at prop firms, like imagine going up against Alan and Alan has one of his best locked in trading days. You're over there making $1,200 on NQ. You're like, hell yeah, good day. He makes 12,000. You're like, shit. Well, now I'm out. You can't do anything about it. That's going to happen. Someone's going to get smoked by them. And it's going to be interesting to see. Intraday trailing is weird on TPT. On funded, that is what feels like they want you to fail and reset. Yeah, I don't like intraday trailing. I don't. Intraday trailing, you have to change your trading style. You guys see how I trade this session? Intraday trailing would smack the shit out of me. If I'm holding YM for 300 to 900 points, intraday trailing would take advantage of me the entire way. And I would not be sleeping because I'd have to be trailing that stop the entire trade. That's why intraday trailing ain't for me. I ain't doing it. Yes, agreed. Intraday trailing is quote unquote scummy. No, not even. It's not even scummy. Because, yeah, does it suck? Yes. But to be honest, if you're getting smoked by intraday trailing, technically you're using too much size compared to what the account you have in the intraday trailing perspective. And you're trying to take advantage of the pros of the account, which if you look at any account that has intraday trailing, it's what? Apex, which you can trade 20 accounts synced together, or TPT, which has uncapped payouts and you can make 10K in one day. There's going to be negatives with those accounts. Is not true trading? Agreed. I fully agree it's not true trading. But look at how most people trade TPT and Apex. They game the system. Apex does have end of day, but they do still have trailing, you know? And old Apex would be what I'm talking about. You have essentially a potential towards an uncapped payout with 20 accounts together. Apex can lose millions of dollars by any random person. They're going to hope that intraday trailing smokes you. That's just the way it's going to go. But if you don't like intraday trailing, fun fact, don't trade it. You don't have to trade it. There's very few prop firms that have intraday trailing. Most of them don't. Yeah, Gandhi, I agree. I don't use intraday trailing. I don't. I would get destroyed by intraday trailing. You know who'd probably do great intraday trailing? People scalping or people trading smaller size. If you trade 3 micros to 5 micros, intraday trailing will never impact you unless you're on NQ. But let's say you're trading 3 micros on ES. Intraday trailing is not even in the question. You don't care about that at all. Definitely going to stay up all night with Alan. I did that yesterday, Victoria. I did. I was on Alan's stream. Also, I'm going to be up for the beginning of Alan's stream because I created the streams again. Last time I did, Alan's, for some reason, had the issue, and I went to bed early. So I'll be up till at least 1 to make sure. Best way to trade TPT, 10-point stop, 15-point TP, in my opinion, works. Yeah, scalping. That's how you get past intraday trailing. That's what Alan said as well. Scalp it till you're past it. Yeah, she trades micros. We need better IT on this extravaganza we got going on. Mitch is good because he works IT. It took forever for them to figure out the giveaways outside of that. I think Christian, once he might run one tomorrow. If he does, he gets to test the giveaway. It is kind of scummy though. Okay, yeah, valid. Muskin Kamar. Definitely botched that. Tradeify, the accounts I have are growth. Not my favorite accounts. I prefer the select options. But if I have the growth, to be honest, I got the growth because I was going to yeet them. I ended up not yeeting them. I ended up trading them normally. So now I'm just compounding growth accounts. It's my goal. I might flip to select. The only thing is you have the consistency on the eval, which I really don't care about because the consistency on the funded sucks. It does. The first YM trade we took on it last week, I made $1,886 on a 50K. Because of that trade, instead of having to make $3K for a payout, I have to make $5,435, I think. What's the math on that? So I made 1886.5 divided by 0.35, $5,390 for me to get my first payout. Consistency blows. That's why I don't like it. But no, I like any account with Tradeify. I like the growths. I like the selects. It is what it is. Yeah, Musk, it can be oof, but for me, I'm not in a rush to get the payout. I'll just keep trading it. Right now, the account's at 3,600 after that loss. So I just got to make 1,800 or more, somewhere around there. Oh no, I completely botched the consistency for sure. The funniest part is Musk. I don't know if you were here when I took the YM trade. I said, if I take this trade and this trade works, I am screwed on consistency. I said it the day I took it before I took that trade. And I was like, I'm willing to do it. Because worst case, I'm like the trade does well. It takes me a little bit longer to get a payout, but I can build a big buffer on the account. Let's say I get to 5,400. If I take the 2K out, I then have 3,400 that I have as a drawdown. Yeah, I said it. And I'll repeat things like that just so people hear it. Because people will be like, oh my God, you just screwed yourself. It's like, no, I actually wanted to. As delusional as that sounds, I wanted to. Yeah, Ramoy, with buffers, it's either you get past it in one trade or you slowly grind past it. It all depends on how you want to trade it. Jake's not going to slowly grind past it. He's going to take one trade. It's either going to work or it ain't. 200 on today, eligible for a payout? Hell yeah, little Melty. You've been doing good lately, brother. Love seeing it. Select flex or daily. I'm going to be, if I'm doing flex or daily, probably the flex. Because the daily payouts, I believe, there's something in there that it has that makes it more complicated to trade. I would have to look at it. I haven't looked at it in a minute for the daily aspect, but I like the flex more. Because it's the no consistency. You need 5 days of $150. That's not that hard to do. See you, little Melty. Enjoy, brother. 925, starting to see some volatility kick up. Holy oil. Oil made a little ripstick here. Not long in the market at all till oil changes structure a little bit. What did Trump say? Trump says Visa company situation with China has raised in negotiations. I don't know what that means, but okay. The daily loss limit? Okay, bet. One more YM trade. That's all we need. We get one more. We're good. I was hoping today could do it, but that's why I just left perspectives where it was. I'm not going to take multiple stabs because I want that trade to happen. And when I want a trade to happen over it should happen, I'm not going to do anything. No, bro. When it comes to the global economy and everything going on and what the hell gets tweeted, I don't know shit, dude. I don't know a damn thing. I'm trying to lose money on eval so I can reach consistency. I do that. That's one thing. On funded accounts, unless I destroy my consistency, and I mean like if I actually make $3,000 and it's a 35% consistency, then I'll lose money. On an eval, I will lose money down to where I need to lose money to. There is zero purpose of making more money on an eval than you need to. Zero. So I will not do it. There's no need. Do you know if Jake held on his gold short and ended up reaching target after hours? Guys, likely not. Because I know that was asked earlier. I don't know if it was asked by the same person. But that would mean Jake would have to hold through the overnight session, through this close in this hour. And I feel like it's safe to assume the gold margins are probably over $20,000 a contract. And I don't think Jake has 50 grand sitting in that account because he withdraws a lot as he makes profits. And I know how Jake usually sizes. He probably doesn't have over 50 bands in there. He might. But if he did, I guarantee he still wouldn't be swinging gold through the overnight session. That doesn't sound like Jake. So no, I would assume he definitely got out. I can also check the Discord. Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Check the Discord. No clue. Your guess is as good as mine. What do you mean you're not making more than you need to on evals? She trades micros. For me, let's say I have a consistency rule, which is the main aspect we were talking about. If I have to, so we'll do this. So my TradeFi account, it is, which one is it? Is it this count? No. Let's go. Hang on, it's loading. So 3.5. Okay. So if I'm looking at like this TradeFi account, the number one thing I do, and obviously the numbers don't really matter here, is if we look at this, go here, I go to my accounts, look at that. I will set my daily profit trigger at 1520 because the consistency, let's say if it's 1520, I'll set it at that. Just so that way it kicks me out at the 50% and I don't have to make more than I need to on the account. Because I don't want to make 1700 in a day at a 50% consistency because then I have to make like 3500 to pass the account. Yeah, I set that for anything I have. Like right now on my firm, on my funded accounts, because my largest day was 1886, I have the kick out on the accounts at 1886. Because the last thing I want to do is, let's say, fall asleep on a trade. It makes $2,500, and then I screw myself even more on consistency. You know, I do that so that way I can take the trade, trade it. Let's say this trade worked out, and let's say it had enough. Because obviously, if this, like the larger goal ended up hitting, if we rip towards all-time highs overnight, which obviously it's not going to happen, we got stopped out. But if we went up here overnight and it was like 16R or something crazy like that, I would make way more than $1,900 no matter what my risk was. And I don't want to do that. So during that trade, when I got to that limit, the account would immediately close my position and cancel all orders. And that is what I like to do. That is how I trade. I will trade normally, take a trade, not worry about that order, that consistency, whatever it is, and it'll kick me out. If I need to log a $150 day, I will take a trade, set the kick out at like $170 to $200, and then it'll just kick me out whenever it hits. It's bleeding. It is. It is. For those of you that were short, you fucking nailed it. You did. She really bleeding. What's Trump tweeting? Interesting. Trump says China's XI may be able to influence Iran. Well, that's not going to move the market. Trump says China's seeking to buy U.S. oil. Well, that ain't going to do anything. We're already at a negative oil rate because we're putting out the most oil we have in like history. Trump claims plan to route Chinese ships to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska. Okay. So I have no reason for this to dump, but something probably happened. Oh, euro is down. The yen is down, I believe. Did China drop? Gap down on China. Not overly aggressive, but a gap down for sure. Are we at that same pivot area from New York? We're at New York lows where we held. Imagine, hold the lows, rip right back up. 4 hour looks terrible though. Still has 26 minutes to hold. At this point, I have no interest in anything upside. None. Hourly, no interest as well. I think we could use some time. Let the charts sit there, do what they want to do, figure it out. Remember, tomorrow's OPEX. My plan, not get clapped by OPEX. That is my entire trade plan for tomorrow. So I might be done today. Did AXP take the short Victoria? I don't know if he did. He was looking to get in here. We didn't get there. I know when we were like here, he wasn't in. So I don't know if he retook this. Last I knew, though, it was a no. What guy sucks? Trump. Oh, we don't need straight up Hermes open. You saying Trump sucks? I will say, though, for those that don't know, Gino, you're talking about me. But for those that don't know, we do need the straight open because we are in a global oil shortage and the current consumption is below the supply, and that's not good. You're saying you outtrade me. Congrats, brother. I lost 1 hour after catching 7 hour yesterday and catching more today. How you bullish? Because I took one long, risking 1 hour after making 7 hour last night and another like 2 hour today. And it was worth the risk looking for YM to all time highs. He's trying to bait me, probably. I really don't care. I don't. If he's not trying to bait me, dude's dumb as shit. I'll say it right now. He's exactly like the guy from Sunday. Dumb as fuck. Because one, this is the first time I'm him. Gino, is that why you're not showing trades? Not anyone on a stream? I did. But Patel, I'm not going to sit there and hype up the past. I don't need to work on flexing. This guy just shows that there's probably people out there in the world that have a lobotomy and they're smarter than him and have a higher IQ. Some people are just like that, unfortunately. Some people are just fucking dumb. And it is what it is. And that's the thing. I'm not here to have a flexing contest. I really don't care. Like I said earlier, before he even popped up. Weak mind, bro. Agreed. But like I said earlier, who's going to be the people that are going to show up on stream and try to talk shit? It's not going to be Jake. It's not going to be Stock Market Wolf. It's not going to be anyone who really matters in the world. It's going to be people who feel like they need to have an ego. People who feel the need to like make themselves feel better than others. I ain't about that. I don't need to be like that. I ain't worried about it. Those guys weak. Gino, I'm going to be honest. I have a feeling you're trolling, but I really don't care. I don't. I'll smell you later, brother. I do not give a shit at all. But anyways, he gone. And he can still see me. He can still yap all he wants. He fucking gone. I don't care. Because the problem is, he's going to come back. I don't want him back. Jake doesn't want him back. And I think that ends pretty well. Got good enough. Basically just tell him he's dumb as hell. All the logic. Because that was his first message, by the way. His very first message was this guy sucks in the entire thing. because he saw this trade. That's it. Funny thing is, I guarantee you, if I just simply go like this, these two trades probably out traded his entire week. I don't give a shit. Big buy right now? Could be. We're sweeping that New York low on YM, which it would be an interesting area for me, but I'm probably not long in here. I'd rather see the 4-hour, see how it closes. If we do get more buying pressure, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities later. I'm not trying to snipe the bottom. If we set a higher low, then I think we can set pretty decent recovery throughout the overnight. But also, for a broader perspective, why are we bullish? And this isn't even just towards Gino. Let me start here. Why are we bullish? Well, we only pulled back that little bit. And then you keep, and yeah, not shorting all-time highs. Like I said, I'll be wrong. I don't give a shit. No Nicotine G is being so kind. I mean, it's not even being kind. Because, yeah, I could easily flip out on that guy. But it's knowing what's worth it and what's not. Someone that stupid just isn't worth it. He's not worth my time. I'm not someone who's going to get pissed off in traffic if someone cuts me off. Because that shit's not worth me even getting stressed over. Someone like that whose life probably just sucks and he has to make himself feel better by trying to talk bad on people on the internet. I don't care. I don't. Own an army. Someone just jumped in, basically said, I'm ass. He's way better than me. There's no reason I should be bullish at all. And he could outtrade me, Jake, Stock Market Wolf, Jay Dunn, and everybody else. Appreciate you, L. And also, I don't need people to, and obviously I appreciate the sport, but people like that, I don't need someone to come in and be like, oh my God, you're the greatest trader in the world. I'm not. I don't give a shit. I know how to trade. It pays my bills. That's what matters to me. Get shit on. No, it's not worth anyone's time. Because the number one thing you have to realize too is when people are actually, if they're being serious, because that guy could have fully been trolling, but I sent him to Shadow Realm anyway. I do not care. I don't. But let's say he wasn't trolling and he truly meant everything, and that was what he firmly believed. He is just like a shell of a human inside, like his actual life. People don't have that much hate in themselves if their life is going well and they enjoy life. No one's living a really good life and going, I'm going to hop on YouTube and shit talk this guy the whole time. So you just got to realize what perspective they're in and if it's really worth your time. And that's exactly how I view everything. He ain't worth my time. He ain't. Now, when you guys troll me, I get more irritated when you fuckers troll me with random tickers than him saying that. When you guys go, oh my God, this chart looks good, and I look it up and it's soybean milk futures, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Trade, yeah, he basically said all those guys were nothing. That's how at that comment, I figured he was trolling. But at that point, I was like, no, it ain't even worth it. Big Austin, yeah, I don't know what happened to Big Austin. That's probably him on an alt. Let's not waste our energy on such people. Yeah, agreed, Nev. Agreed. Now, mind you, it could be great. And one of these days, I might do it where I just go off on some random person because it could be a great Instagram clip. It could be beautiful content. And what I would do at the end, immediately ban him and be like, that'll make a good clip. And then I'll move on with my day. That'd probably be the only reason I would do it. Unless I'm having like an absolute shit week. Like if I had, let's say this situation. If I had quit nicotine, and I know I keep bringing it up, I don't care. But let's say I quit nicotine. This entire week, all I did was lose trades. All I did. Yesterday didn't happen. I just lost trades the entire time. Horrible week. Let's say I still have like crazy withdrawals. Oh yeah, I would have lost my shit completely. That'd be reasonable. Big Austin having weekend early. Think he took a payout? Fuck yeah, dude. Hey, hell yeah. Just one of the things that Jake streamed the other morning. Yeah. That's why sometimes you have to watch what chat says. He got mad there's no giveaway, probably. Ali, the funny thing is the last guy, I think it was Sunday. I didn't ban that guy. So like that guy could still join and he joined the giveaway. I watched him enter the giveaway. So he stayed on stream the entire time for the giveaway and still entered. Bissett talked about soybeans today. He said they made soybean deal in China. That's huge. Big house every weekend. Yeah, clip the. Let's act it out. Roast me. Dude, you know how crazy it'd be if I did that one day just for content? I'm like, Joe, I don't mean anything I'm about to say. And I just clip that part out and just go off just for fun. I feel like my brother, if I started flipping, my brother would probably walk in here. Or when I get out there, he'd be like, yo, what's going on? How to quit nicotine course? Yeah, just take it out on trolls on YouTube. Imagine if that how Warren Buffett or Bill Ackman spent their time even trolling YouTubers. Agreed, dude. Like no one who really cares is going to be trolling people on social media. That's why it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Plus, also, I love you guys. I love the support. I do not care what people have opinion-wise of me. I really don't. Does it mean a lot hearing like the support, seeing you guys do well, seeing it like impact you? 100%. But if someone says, oh my God, Ron, you're a piece of shit, cool. I'll be here tomorrow. Come back for more. All in Bush. Why do you keep saying in the beginning? And spelling it really weird. You've said the same message 4 times. You might not be saying beginning, but I don't know what that word is. And you've said the same thing 4 times. And that is the only thing you've said. I don't know what it means. What's the meme? What meme? I'm confused. Pretty much, Rat. It's a meme? All right, I'll look it up in a sec. Data, not this 5-second delay crap. Utrid, the CME data bundle. It's like $5 a month. It might be $7 a month now, but it was like $5 a month when I started. Yeah, look for the CME data bundle. Someone doesn't have TradingView Premium. Is there an alternative broker you would recommend for prop firm use like Quant Tower or TradeC? Free tier TradingView, all right. I mean, TradeC is basically TradingView. If you're futures trading, do not trade the free version of TradingView. Do not. Here's going to be a big tip for you. If you are currently looking at TradingView and you look up here and you see a circle, you're good. If you look up there and you see this, you are 15 minutes delayed. If you are 15 minutes delayed, that means the data you are seeing happened 15 minutes ago. If you try to enter, you will be 15 minutes late. That's not good. So make sure you don't have the delay up here. Huge important. Don't trade on a chart that is not giving you the current data. Find something, buy the bundle to where you are getting the current data. I know a lot of people that use Tradevate the chart, so you can try that out. For me, I love TradingView. It's the first platform I ever opened, and it's my ride or die. I think you driving and typing, probably. Show what the meme, Victoria? Hang on, I gotta put my headphones in so I can hear. Watch the meme now. Okay, quit yelling at me. Ain't no reason to get hostile. Settings. Sound. I'm gonna go over here in case anything leaks. I don't need you guys seeing my shit. I need to get doxxed on this. So it's on YouTube. In the beginning, a funny video. All right, before I do it. Oh, I'm on Jake's YouTube. Oops. Is this it? Is this the video I'm looking for? Yes. No. Maybe. Yes. Okay. Let me make sure y'all can hear it. Let me make sure I can hear it. And
in the beginning, in the
all right, I didn't expect that.
in the beginning, yeah, in the verse 1.
All right. All right. That was worth it. I feel like that's also how I talk sometimes because I talk so fast and I talk so long that I stutter a little bit. Let me make sure I mute that so you guys don't hear any notifications. And then, were you guys able to hear that? Okay, bet. In the beginning, what you guys need to do tomorrow on Jake's stream, when he gets to the point where he's reading chat, just start typing that the whole time. Also, was that like a good volume? Because if we have more clips eventually, I'll play them and stuff. I just don't know the volume because I've never listened to my own stream. Well, I have, but not like actually while I'm doing it. But you guys should just type that on Jake's. And like later on, when he's actually focusing on the chat, and just see what he does. It'd be a group troll. Like imagine 20 people all just start typing at the same time. Now, mind you, if he's in a trade, I will time every single fucking one of you out for 30 minutes. I will. If he's fully focused on trading and you do it at 9:30 in the morning, you're getting timed out. I'm going to do it. Fair warning. But if you do it at, let's say, like 11 and he's not diving in execution, go ahead. Go for it. Jake's in the beginning of the stream. Is this the beginning? Oh, yeah. What about pre-market? Probably not, because like that's in that fine line area. That's in the fine line area where you can really get the rage bait going. And we don't want to be in that area. We want to be out of that area, you know? We want to be at the point where like, all right, we're good. We can say funny things, you know? Maybe he's listening now. He might be. And if he is, it's not going to be as good. Because he's going to know it's coming. So Jake, if you're listening, headphones, earplugs, put them on. That's why he was typing wrong. The fact that he types it 4 times and I just kept reading it, I'm like, what is he talking about? And now makes sense. Also, you don't mind, I would love your opinion on this indicator I found on TradingView. It's called SATS by Willie Algo Trader. It could be tripping, but it seems to hit TP1 almost all the time in TP2. Ultra, one thing I am going to say is if there is somebody out there that has created an algorithm, because that's what that essentially would be. If they've created an algorithm that is consistently profitable, does very, very well, what would likely be the outcome? And this is why I don't trust anything like that. And it could work. It could work flawlessly, but I'll never trust it. Because in my perspective, what would you rather do as a person? Put it on TradingView for free or possibly sell it to people for $20 or sell it to a hedge fund for $50 million because you have an algorithm that you custom built that works. I think I'd rather go for the latter in that situation there. So for me, that's why I don't trust anything like that. I don't trust auto traders. I mean, auto traders are dumb as hell. If anyone ever says auto trader, run. It ain't going to work. Run. But algos, stuff like that, if someone's making one, sell it to a hedge firm. They're not going to, if it actually truly works. Victoria Mimish actually talked about that a little bit today. We did. I would love to see him do that simply because so many of you want it that he could do well off of it. I mean, it's not like he'd be retiring, but stuff like that is an indicator that I agree you could sell. But for me, trading algos, stuff like that, if it truly worked to what people think, I wouldn't agree. Can you use it as conviction? Probably. If you agree with something and it sets up to give you extra conviction, use it. Number one thing I say about indicators to everybody, if it works, if it helps you trade, use it. Exactly, futures. He'd be interviewing for quant jobs in the indicator. Yes. Because and hedge fund stuff will pay you extraordinary amounts of money, especially if you get commission based. Brother, go to Wall Street, make $30 million off that indicator and retire. That's it. That's your strategy. No one's going to give it away for free or sell it for $20. That's why whenever I see people post, and if anyone ever does some type of algo or auto trader on social media, I never trust them again. Because as a person, like I just know it ain't gonna work. Because I always look at it from that perspective. Maybe not a low yet, but close. I think own an army. I'm gonna be honest. Number one thing I want, at least looking at the number one chart I trade, 4 hour, real quick. And it helps that we only have 7 minutes left in this candle. If this is a 5 minute chart on any of these charts, would you want to immediately long this candle looking like this right here? Most likely not. I know some of you will probably reply. If you do, appreciate it. But I don't want to wait for it. Most likely not. So if this candle closes this week and you look at it and you go, all right, I wouldn't want to long this. Let's say you have a bullish bias or you're trying to find that long. What would get you interested? Probably this candle to close, the next candle sweep the lows, and then we get buying pressure back up. Okay, well then wait for that. For me, it just tells me to wait. I did take the one long today. Didn't work. I even said at the time of it, you can go back, fact check it. Wasn't A plus at all. That whole trade was if it worked, cool. If it didn't work, oh well. We'll find another. Probably not. Find one Sunday. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see though. But broader perspective is going to be I'm trading Sunday. My dog is my indicator. When he pees, I go long on 50K. He only asks for treats. That's why you're good and I'm not. I mean, I'm all right. I'm not bad. But no, it's patience, especially when we're trending down this much. You could chase now if you want to short, but I don't agree with it. But for me, I would at least need to see that 4 hour close. Because especially if you look at the hour. This is the hourly chart. The number one way I trade. How do you build patience? Open up a higher time frame chart and say, if this is a 5 minute chart, what would I do here? If this is a 5 minute and you see this candle, are you long in this high conviction? No. If you are, I don't know your strategy and I don't want to ever. But if you're not, what's that tell you? Let's say you want maybe a failure to go lower to set up and then you want a long. Or you want an inside bar, small inside bar at the lows, and then you either want a 3-bar play to the downside or you want like a failure to go lower back to the upside. Each bar you want to play out is an hour. That tells me the next hour, I don't give a shit what happens. Unless we slam down, come back up, start closing really strong on the hourly, I don't care. Not interested at all. This chart looks like shit. So for me, I'm waiting at least likely 2 hours to really be interested in this. And with this in general, that 4 hours is going to look terrible. If this 4 hours is going to look better, give me the spike lower. Give me like another hourly consolidation maybe. The third hour, we start to see part of that rally. Then I get interested. Because at that point, you'd have a lower wick on the 4 hour, maybe closing green, coming into the last hour. Could get a little interesting there. Right now, though, no. This could easily continue lower. I'm not blindly longing. Not worth my money. It's the exact same concept of dealing with trolls. Is it really worth my time and me risking capital on it, risking my mental peace on it? No. If it's not, don't touch it. See you later, Joe. But that's the easiest way to learn how to be patient. Go to the higher time frames. If this is a 5-minute chart, what would you do? I would long it. Maybe the market makers are trying to create FOMO and make people join in on the shorts while they quickly start buying up again to make it go up. I hope that's not serious. I don't think it is. I hope it's not like that. If that's your A+ strategy, all power to you. Good luck on the other side, brother. I don't think it is. Pretty sure it's a troll. But there are times I build that same mindset. Why do I want the market to go sideways for a while? Because if you think about it, every fucking person out there wants the market to go straight down 20%. Well, what's the easiest thing to do? Make it go sideways. Everyone wants it to go up. Everyone wants it to go down. No one wants it to go sideways. Make it go sideways and make them all hate life. That's what I want. Sit here and just go like this for a little bit. Give me a month of just this. See how everyone feels after that one. Pure opium. There's nothing better than a good dopamine hit with a side of opium. Stop it. Victoria, everyone gets mad when I talk about that because you just think about trading. And I even talked to Mitch today, like a lot of people. Sure, a range trader. No. No, I mean, I'll trade a range, but just because I want a range doesn't mean I'm a range trader. For me, what would I prefer in the market? Would I prefer the market to kind of go like this a little bit? Or would I prefer it to go like this? I'd prefer this. I'd rather just suck a little bit than, because what I don't want to happen and what I think could happen is 2022. Those of you that were here know 2022. This market wasn't fun because every other day was a dead cat bounce in this market. What up, Mitch? You come right as we start talking shorts, huh? Right as we start talking about broader market thesis. Mitch is like, what up? Someone say something? But no, I'm not a range trader. I don't want this to happen. I'll take this. I don't want us to get back in the 2022 market where we did this during the COVID, right? We just kept buying. Everyone's like, oh my God, top's in. Top came in, and what did we do? We never really hit a real bottom. We just kept massive volatility. And I already know, even though most people would hate this, Mitch would thrive in this market because the recoil and the rebounds from these moves, he would be on cloud 9 if we recreated 2022. He'd be seething for it. If we recreate 2022, I'm learning Gamma. You have my word on that right now. I'm learning Gamma and I might start using it. JHN, why? What are you saying? Y2? Which part? I talked about a lot. Yeah, trade WAP. Of course, we want to take their enriched uranium. Why wouldn't we? We already took it. You know what? There's a funny thing. Like when I said I went into an oil rabbit hole yesterday, and at this point, I'm not looking to take any trades. I'm not longing down here. I'm not. But as I'm looking at, I was looking in like a rabbit hole yesterday with ChatGPT. Oh no, Claude on oil. And it got funny. And I was looking up, all right, who has the largest oil reserve? And they gave me like on above ground and underground. Well, the US has one of the larger above ground oil reserves before we started this war that strangled the oil market. But who has the largest underground oil reserve? Venezuela, the country we just took over right before we started a war with Iran, which has a decent export through the Hormuz Strait, which means we can export more oil and take a broader control of the oil market. So that was the tinfoil hat conspiracy I got into. But it all makes sense. Yeah, it's something like Venezuela currently, from all their projections, has the largest underground oil supply, so untapped oil, out of anywhere in the world. And we just happen to take it before we caused a global oil shortage. Odd. Your choice of range part, I would just prefer a range over straight capitulation to the downside. That's why we were in Iran as well. Gandhi, yeah, I've said since the beginning, this isn't about, and I've been tinfoil hat on it since the beginning. It's not about the uranium. We've been talking about Iran having uranium for the last 30 years and being 2-3 weeks away from it. For 30 plus years. They've always been 2-3 weeks away from having it enriched and done. But the number, like I said, I've talked about it before. The number one thing we did the second the war started, oil doubled in price. We unloaded oil like we have never seen before. Things come together when you actually look behind the curtains. But it's just logic. It's just how the US is. Oil is a bully, bro. There was one time during the war where Trump actually did tweet, and it's facts. He tweeted that we were making so much money off Venezuela's oil. I saw it, just started laughing. Do you answer that? Okay, bet. Yeah, for me, I just don't want to see 10% of straight capitulation. See how much money Barron Trump made shorting oil in this drop? Brother, they made so much. That family made so much fucking money. It's about China. Yeah, we're also trying to get China to buy our oil. That was the whole news. That was what Trump was talking about during this. I don't think that caused the market to go lower. It might have caused oil to go higher, which can cause the market to go lower. But Trump was consistently talking about how he's working on routing Chinese ships to Texas, Louisiana, and Alaska so they can start buying our oil versus the oil from the strait. No, it I it est. I'm just gonna call you Cloud 8. A hell of a lot easier. But for that though, no, I've never traded on TradingView personally. I don't like it. I don't want to trade on my actual charting broker. Yo, just got back. What up, Adrian? I wish there was a fly in the wall in that family. Dude, all of us do. Everybody does. Who is the most heavily invested post-Trump first term in U.S. tech? I wouldn't doubt it. Saudis are everywhere. They're invested in everything. Damage, did you catch any of the downside? How many of y'all caught the short? I know quite a few of you took the short. I know some of y'all were talking about it. Who caught it? Let's see it. I don't know where the poll went. The poll disappeared on my end. So I can't close it unless I already did on accident. Also, Mitch, you missed it. Someone else got sent to the Shadow Realm. Lost another soldier today. Except this one didn't get a 30-minute timeout. He just got full sent. Yeah, it's about global power. We don't want Iran. Yeah, and also, if you guys remember last year, there was a big conflict where in the Middle East, they were talking about taking or not using the US dollar to buy oil anymore. If they don't use US dollar to buy oil anymore, the US dollar quite literally has almost zero value. So we can't have that happen, or else we go into basically a third world country. Yeah, AXP, that's unfortunate because I know you were stalking it. I didn't know if you got back in maybe around the open or something. Collapse for OPEX, good. Oh, what up, MLT? How you doing? Mitch will be my guy tomorrow to look at around noon, see his thesis. But right now, shit looks terrible. I start off the stream saying gold looks terrible. Gold looks like shit. Like shit. Like brutal. Oil, though, is getting some more buying pressure. If we do continue to get the pump on oil, I think could get pretty ugly. I have to redraw every single level now because of the contract rollover. Fun fact, if you look at oil and you have a big gap on your chart, contract rolled over. There's not a gap. Hit the B80J button, it'll get rid of it. See, if you turn it on, big gap. Or you turn it off, big gap. If you turn it on, no gap. You want no gap. But we have a little daily consolidation here. If we do get above today's highs, get the daily buy, triggering and going. Better hold on. Because if we get back over 1015, I think oil gets pretty damn strong. Strong oil, weak indices. We know the negative correlation. Banhammer Wrong, my favorite. Yeah, Mitch, I basically just told him he's dumb as shit. Because the guy hopped on, his first message was, I could out trade this guy any day. And I was like, me? Like, me? And he just started going after it. And I basically just said, he's dumb as shit. And I said, and it was just people like, let's say, Jake, or even MLT, or you, or Stock Market Wolf, just anyone who's a respectable trader, I'd say, isn't going to be in a YouTube trying to shit talk people. Expiry will kick us lower. So, the morning session will start pivoting us back lower. Okay. Because you have the early morning expiration. little bit more push sweep than we retest the market, then the market crashes. Good. We could easily crash off this. Imagine everything, like everyone's been trading the market. And I didn't even realize we're at 3 hours already. Holy shit. Everyone's been trading the market. Oh my God, this data is going to push us lower. This data is going to push us lower. This whatever is going to push us lower. Earnings is going to push us lower. And OPEX is the thing that cracks the shell at the bottom. That's what sends us. I believe those guys just failed an eval. That would actually be a hell of an insult. Someone talks shit on you, you just be like, yeah, you sound like the kind of guy that just failed an eval. Like, how do you come back from that? You can't. At that point, you're cooked. Oh, Mitch, I just remembered I did verbally tell the guy that he has a lower IQ than someone who's been lobotomized. I, you know, might have been a little harsh, but I said it. That was a comment that I made. So yeah, I did make that comment on stream. I remember that one. Yeah, forgot about that for a second. Yeah, that one would hurt a little bit. Imagine talking shit on someone and that's their comeback. Like that's just unfortunate. At that point, you just got to leave yourself. I have to find that. I got to clip it. Just so I have it. I was 10 years old when I learned about the BADJ button. Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know about contract adjustment, is this lovely little button on the bottom of your chart, BADJ. All it does is, because what TradingView does, it takes the old contract pricing, leaves it where it was, and it just starts the new contract on the rollover. Well, if you hit this button, it adjusts all of the prior pricing to where the new contract sits. So you don't have a gap. It makes all the price action make sense. Oil is a new contract, correct? It is. So don't trade CL on the contract you have been trading CL on. Trade it on a new contract. So we did sweep the New York low. That'll be an interesting spot to watch on YM. Now, mind you, does YM look like shit right now? Yes. Yes, it does. However, still an inside bar. Still interested in, not now, but later on. Whether that be later tonight, whether that be tomorrow, whether that be Sunday, Tuesday, whenever. Still interested in it. DIA Lottos are cooked. DIA Lottos are fucking smoked so far. Santiago, so far. You got to remember, there's this little thing that we love sometimes with options, which is hopium. And it got a lot of it. Got a lot of it. In theory, we're just a little squeeze away. We are only, especially my options, 1.8%. Is that an extreme move on the Dow Jones? Yes, it is. Hopes are very low. But if it hits, it's 1,100%. Worth it. I'll hold hopium for that. I'm not going to add to the position at all. I'm not even going to execute on the position. If it gets up near all-time highs, I'll start to trim. Other than that, it's GG's. That position's gone. Yeah, no, my DIA lottos are smoked. I'm sure someone else probably took different lottos as well. What is the new contract name for CL? Easiest way to figure it out is either go on Tradevate or TradingView. You can type CL, click the little down arrow, and it gives you the expiration. So this is June. So you're going to want the M contracts, I believe, because it's not June. So it should be CLM, right? Yeah, because oil is every month. So you're going to want at least CLM. Yeah, because that means that's when that expired. Yeah, CLM should be the contract. You want July? Really? Shouldn't it be June because that expires in June and it's currently August? Or I've been streaming too long. It's currently May. I also didn't get the rollover aspect. The one thing you have to pay attention to is a lot of times TradingView will roll the contract over before the actual contract rolls. So you'll have to adjust the contract on your actual broker as well. American, correct. Correct. Goddamn right. I don't think there's anything to do here. I'm gonna look up some areas that I want to have interest in. Is this our area from yesterday that we marked, or is that just no? That's a broader pivot. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is mark something on each index to where I'm gonna pay attention to. I'm not looking to trade off of, but keep an eye on. So that way, worst case, if they work or don't, we could look at them Sunday. ES is gonna be this right here. If we hold this, why? We're holding prior all-time highs. We hold prior all-time highs, we're still bullish. If we're still bullish, it can push back up. Is it going to be the smoothest up? Most likely not. We could see a lot of shit along the way. Could be a really unfortunate one. We could still set lower highs. For now, though, this is my pivot. We get below 74.90s. I'm going to start to lean down. I will. Because that chart's going to look like shit. This would probably be 1, 2, maybe 3 consolidation bars. Look to break the lows. Consolidation, trend range, trend. Not good. YM. This is the broader area I was looking at. I got to go to the lower time frames to kind of slide this over. Because I actually took a long off this on New York session, which is kind of funny. I longed the big pullback on it. But I could see it playing out in this general area as well, holding this. Is it going to be the cleanest chart? No. That's why I'm not overly interested in it. I think if there's going to be opportunity, there will be opportunity later on as well. The only chart that really spiked the lows was, I think, NQ did ES. ES did by 0.5 point, and then RTY did. So YM is the only one that didn't. So in theory, if YM wants to be YM, it doesn't really need to spike. It can hold like that, do some shit like this where it doesn't hit the lows and just pivots back up. But for now, YM is still the only chart that I'm interested in. Off the lows, it does have relative strength, slightly. Still not out of the woodwork yet. But if we do start setting an uptrend for the most part, primarily going to be looking at like the 15 and the hourly. If that sets up a little bit better, I'll be watching overnight for a potential long entry into the morning, and y'all know the targets. Outside of that, though, this is all I'm focusing on. How does ES react to this? How does YM react to this? Below both of them, good luck. We're probably going to go lower. If we hold them, market can easily hold here. We can easily go right back in this broader range and kind of see what we do. Oil, you're going to want to pay attention to the open. The open area to about 97.90s. So this little consolidation-esque aspect here, which is going to be, let's say, this, holds above that, oil's strong. Oil's strong, market's weak. Oil holds this, market loses this, not good, right? Oil gets back below this, market holds above these, could be good. So that's the whole TLDR. Anyways, with that, though, I'm going to finish reading the chat, and then I'm likely going to hop out of here. Put that Yankee Doodle on. Rye Guy, it's not worth the copyright. It's not. Also, the last Yankee Doodle song, I don't even know what that one was. I would have to find like the good Yankee Doodle. But I'm not playing Yankee Doodle again because those motherfuckers copyrighted us. Say something American. What do you want me to say? AR-15s, lifted trucks. America, red, white, and blue. I don't know what else you want. Got a paycheck incoming tomorrow. Put it towards your WAP lessons. Hell yeah, brother. Country. All right. Bud Light was American until everyone boycotted them like 2 years ago. And the stock dropped, what was it, 30%? I think they're back, though. I don't know. I don't drink beer. I don't pay attention to it. Anyways, I'm going to call it a night. I'll be back I'll be on in the streams tomorrow with everybody. I'll be there, usually watching. At least for the first couple. And then with that, I won't be live again until Sunday. So y'all have a great weekend. I'll be in the Discord tomorrow. We'll see if YM hits all-time highs tomorrow. Holy shit, we're going to have ourselves a day. Anything below that, lost a couple hundred. Sometimes it'd be like that. You take the risk, you know? With that, though, I'm going to call it a night. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of the night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday, 5:30 or 6 p.m. Eastern, because Jake does his little early stream. But I'll be on at 7. So see y'all later. Have a good night.